Hey guys, if you're watching on YouTube, thanks for being ready for the pod. I appreciate it. We have an interesting one for you today, guys. We're going over Kirk Cousins potentially leaving Minnesota, Kyler Murray not being a top 6 quarterback in my opinion, some predictions for MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, all of that kind of stuff, and then going over this past week's games, what we thought of them, who was good, who was bad, who disappointed, who surprised us, and who our picks are for this next week. I'm Max. I'm Fantasy Football AZ. We have Devin from Roundup, Tyler from King Cheesy, and Ryan from RJ Sports. Yeah, we don't know exactly what we're talking about to start off with. We can really go over anything, whatever you guys want to start with.
Let's go over your Kyler Murray take.
Let's start with Kyler Murray. Let's start with Kyler Murray. All right, so here's my argument here.
Hold on, I want to wait. Who agrees with him first here? Like, do you guys agree?
I think there is an argument for it. I think there's a good argument for it.
No.
I agree.
I don't know if I full say agree because I might have him at 6. That might be the spot I have him at.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I think there definitely is an argument, but I'll go with Max on this one. I haven't been impressed with Kyler Murray, and I'll tell you my reasons why after.
Yeah. I think for me, I think Kyler's great. I think he's a great player, and I think when he's healthy, he's really solid. But I also think it's very rare that he's healthy. Hold on, is my camera not going to focus here? Hold on, I'll turn it. Oh, there we go. Okay. I think it has to be said that I understand that he's not missing 7-8 games a year and he wasn't hurt his rookie year. I get that. But if you're missing significant time towards the end of the year, every single year, that's going to hurt your team's chance of making the playoffs or even making a run in the playoffs like it was this year. I don't care if your injury was just a unlucky injury. You're hurt every year at the end of the year. And that's just the reality of it. He's in my opinion, he's a wish.com off-brand version of Russell Wilson, which isn't actually bad at all. Russell Wilson's a Hall of Famer, but he just falls off like Russell Wilson at the end of the year.
He's better than Russell Wilson.
He's just not better than Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson has a first ballot Hall of Fame career. He's a Super Bowl champ. He has the best deep ball maybe in the history of the NFL outside Aaron Rodgers. He has better arm talent. He's just as mobile. He scrambles just as much. He works with less. He's
not just as mobile. Stop. Yeah, it's not close.
It's because Kyler's faster. Because Kyler's faster.
No.
Russell Wilson's been one of the most mobile quarterbacks in the NFL over the last 10 years.
Name a trait rushing wise that he's better at. He's worse at any.
I can understand that he might be better in specific traits of rushing, but he's just as mobile as a quarterback as Kyler Murray.
No, not at all.
Yes, 100%.
Kyler Murray is literally one of the greatest rushing quarterbacks of all time already.
And that's not a good feat though. That's not a big deal because there's not that many good rushing quarterbacks in the history of the NFL. There's 10.
Fine, he's better than Russell Wilson all time as a rusher. His peak wipes Russ as a peak. How many rushing yards did he have?
Okay, I can agree his peak wipes. I can agree his peak wipes, but also Russell Wilson's peak in passing it blows Kyler's out of the water. It's not even close.
Now, peak. The first 7 weeks of Kyler Murray is a historic pace.
But
he would have.
No. I don't mean a peak over the course of half of a season, bro.
Russell Wilson has a better overall arm talent, though. When you see Russell Wilson fully healthy, he has the better overall arm talent.
Right now, I would take Kyler Murray's deep ball over Russell Wilson.
No,
Kyler Murray's first 7 weeks was the most accurate quarterback.
That's a horrible take.
Russell Wilson throws them daggum moonshots that go off your TV screen. And it's like a drone
literally
in place. His deep ball is a thing of beauty. I like what Max said. He has arguably one of the best deep balls of all time besides Aaron Rodgers. It is a masterpiece.
Okay, well, they are trying to say that Russell Wilson is better than Kyler Murray right now and that Joe Burrow is better as well. And I have to go against all three of them. What do you think?
I didn't say Joe Burrow was better. No.
Yeah, I don't agree with Joe Burrow.
Russell Wilson.
It's really hard to evaluate Russell Wilson after the year he had. But I was listening to the conversation about the deep ball and rushing, and Kyler definitely has rushing. Russell Wilson, I think, has the best deep ball in the league. But I think they're the same. They're on the same tier to me. It's kind of one of those where I'm not too invested in which one I'd rather have. And it's hard to evaluate Kyler too because he's had 2 great starts the last 2 years, gotten injured and then fallen off a lot. So I'd like to know if the injuries have had anything to do with a little bit of a fall off each year.
Yeah, I agree. Well, but also too, the only reason we don't have Russell Wilson as the consensus 3rd best quarterback or 4th best quarterback in the NFL is because he had a finger injury on his throwing hand this year.
He wasn't that great before the finger injury.
I really feel even without the injury, I would still be taking Josh Allen over him. I really feel that.
No, I could see that, but you're taking Josh Allen clearly over over Kyler Murray. It's not even
Both of them.
close.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is, before Russell Wilson's injury, he was not playing at an elite level. Like, he was playing good, but it wasn't at the level Kyler Murray was playing. Before the injury, Kyler Murray was the best quarterback in football, and it wasn't close. Like, he would have unanimously won an MVP if he stayed at that track. Russell Wilson before was, like, playing at a good level, but not the Russell Wilson we all know, especially for his elite first few weeks.
I understand. I also think it's, like, how bad the O-line is isn't, it can't even be put into, like, it's not even fathomable how bad it is. How bad the defense is in the field position he gets every single time. It's not even fathomable how bad it is. They're down so big in every single game. He has to throw the ball deep. Tyler Lockett wasn't that great in the beginning of the year. DK Metcalf wasn't that great in the beginning of the year. Like, Pete Carroll's maybe one. Whoever's calling plays for them, legit might be one of the worst, if not the worst play caller in the NFL. Like, it's really bad. Like, it's not
the same thing for Kyler Murray then, because like Kyler Murray spreads the ball up better than anybody else.
I don't know.
Was gone almost the entire year, and when he was there, he was just a touchdown merchant. He was nothing like.
I don't know, man. I think the play calling for the Cardinals is much better than it is for the Seahawks. And also, I know that the Cardinals' weapons is significantly better than the Seahawks' weapons. Like, Tyler Lockett and DK are the only two weapons they have. Chris Carson's never healthy. They have no O-line, so no run games even there. They don't have a good tight end. Gerald Everett's mid at best. They have Zach Ertz, who's still a top 12 at minimum tight end. Zach Ertz is good though. Like, let's not. Like, Zach Ertz is good. Christian Kirk is good. AJ Green still got it. James Conner's solid. Chase Edmonds is good, and then you have Diop on top of that. Like, he has great
Rashad
weapons.
Penny
bro.
was playing as one of the best running backs.
Shut up,
in the NFL
bro.
for the past few weeks. That's a great run game. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett played at a top 10 level this year. How many?
Yeah, and look, and when is it either it's a coincidence that when Rashad Penny was like one of the best running backs in football, Russell Wilson was also had over 105 passer rating?
Yeah, Kyler Murray doesn't have that much of a run game. Just because James Conner has a lot of touchdowns doesn't mean it's a run game. Like,
I agree. I don't think it's an amazing run game, but I think it's solid.
But again, Kyler's situation, I feel, is kind of worse, like, easily.
No shot, bro. Yeah, it's not.
Cliff
how is it worse? Bro,
Carroll.
what? No, Pete Carroll's
worse.
worse.
Then he has Rondale Moore and AJ Green compared to Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf.
Don't forget Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk is really good.
Okay. I'd still rather have Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf over AJ Green.
No shit. No shit. You'd rather have Tyler Lockett.
Like,
but I'm thinking of their situation overall. I'm thinking with D-Hop in there. He had D-Hop for half the year.
Barely played, and when he did play, he was a touchdown merchant. He didn't have a single game over
whose fault is that?
Like, not Kyler's, because Kyler spreads the ball out.
Why?
So,
he targeted D-Hop less than 6 times, maybe 4 or 5 times this year.
Again, D-Hop was also, he played hurt.
He can't just throw the ball up to the best the best catch receiver in the NFL history.
Yeah, that's why he had a lot of touchdowns.
But he only had like 6 targets a game.
It didn't matter though, because he was playing.
The offense this year was unbelievable. How much he spread the ball up between, like, he used literally every weapon he has, and like he spread that ball so well. And then after halfway through the year, it got figured out, and obviously D-Hop was injured.
And he was hurt, and Cliff fell apart. Like, I don't know. You give Kyler a consistent coach that knows how to play call, it's over for the league.
But the thing is about coaching and everything too. You still got to take it on the player to remain healthy, and that's been the trend. That's been the only thing with Kyler Murray that.
But Kyler isn't that injury prone. He isn't.
But he starts off good, and then he gets injured, and he's not the same player. So at some point, like, something in here, when he gets injured, he kind of plays a little bit more shy and timid, like, because he doesn't want to get injured again, which ultimately, in my opinion, just like the lack of consistency, it's almost kind of like the argument there for a while that, okay, Christian McCaffrey and Saquon Barkley are great backs. They're like top 2 backs in the league, but they can never stay on the field. Meanwhile, you had Derrick Henry stay on the field every freaking year until this year. And everybody's like, oh, they're better just because they could do this. But yeah, maybe potential and talent wise, Kyler Murray, for sure, you have to say he's a top 5 talent at the quarterback position. But at the end of the day, I want someone who stays on the field. Like, and I know injuries you can't control.
I also want consistency.
It's luck.
Well.
And
I want consistency.
His injuries have been luck. They're not.
I don't know
related
if
to
necessarily call it luck, because like it was both of the last 2
consistently.
seasons though.
Injuries aren't luck, man.
The Cardinals playoff chances.
Kyler Murray is one.
Got ruined by.
Okay, hold on. I want to say something. Kyler Murray is
predict how Kyler Murray's season's going to go based on, like, okay, as soon as he, like, me and my boy Guru Griff, as soon as we saw him get hurt in the Packers game, we're like, he's going to go downhill and the Cardinals are going to suck, and that's exactly what happened.
Okay, I understand. But the thing is, Kyler Murray, I don't like this narrative that, like, he's always he plays a play style where you don't get hurt a lot. Like, he barely takes any contact. Like, he's so great at avoiding sacks. He's so great at avoiding hits. He's one of the best sliders in the league. The injuries he's had are, like, purely luck based. Like they're uncorrelated. Like a shoulder and ankle have nothing to do with each other. I don't think he's injury prone because of his size, or Russell Wilson would be getting hurt more.
I feel like it's kind of the problem though, because I do think it is because of his size. I think the size is what's causing Kyler to get hurt.
He's like an inch taller. Like
yeah, but he takes more sacks. Kyler is just so like he even looks smaller though. Like that small muscle mass he has.
That's just the way he runs.
He's just not a big enough guy. And so when he takes a hit, he gets hurt, and that's ruined both. Last year, it ruined their playoff chances. They couldn't get in. This year, it makes them get blown out in the wild card round.
I don't think
his injuries is what correlated to both of their seasons getting ended, back to back.
I agree. That's what caused it, but I don't think he's going to get hurt like this every single year. He's going to be one of the.
And I hope not. Kyler's injuries. None of us are saying that, but the thing is, like, he hasn't been able to show he can bounce back from an injury. It's a very critical thing for me because I'm like, you see guys play hurt all the time. It's the NFL. They're playing 17 games now, and the next thing you know, it's going to be 18. You see guys like Aaron Rodgers and some other guys get banged up, and yet it doesn't really affect their play too much. They're still the same person. And so I just want to see a little bit more consistency or maybe even more resiliency. And, like, I'm not writing out Kyler at all because, like I said, he's a top 5 quarterback talent. He's dynamic. He's fun to watch. But at the end of the day, you have to criticize some certain things because there's a lot of things that make up a great quarterback. And I think a lot of that is resiliency, and I haven't seen it enough in Kyler Murray compared to some other dudes.
That's fine. What are you going to say, Max?
I think it's important to note, Ryan, like, when grading quarterbacks, this isn't like a huge thing that like matters all that much, but like I'm like very confident that like every NFL GM would rather have Russell Wilson on their team than Kyler Murray.
I don't really care what the GMs think. A lot of GMs,
I mean, you should care what they think because they make millions of dollars.
Grading GM like John Lynch, he does nothing. He doesn't draft. He's
do you think you know more than John Lynch about football?
I know more players than John Lynch. I know more about rankings. He doesn't watch football like us. Like, people underrate the NFL community. Like, we genuinely know a lot of football. There's GMs out there that don't pay attention to football and really there just to be the media guy. And like they listen, they have people advise them.
Okay. Do you think? Okay, then tell me this then. I would say 70% of NFL coaches would rather have Russell Wilson than Kyler Murray. I think that's low. I think that's a low number.
Again, I can use the same argument. Like, NFL players also say that like Odell's still one of the best receivers in the league. And like I think
that's NFL players. Players are different than coaches and who just control the team.
I mean, you're using it as we both we both know NFL.
We both know NFL players don't have even half the knowledge that most NFL coaches have. That's not even a good argument. Like NFL players play football. They don't coach football. They don't assemble a team.
Talk about not using hypotheticals, but you're using a hypothetical and you say coaches would probably want Russell Wilson.
It's not even probably though. This is like I don't know if it is documented, but I'm like there's no like doubt in my mind that I know for a fact if you ask every single NFL coach, more than 70% of them would say, give me Russell Wilson over Kyler Murray. Like I would bet any amount of money, right? I would bet my whole house. Everything I own.
You can't figure that out, so it's not really a valid argument. It's something what you believe. There's no like objection. You can't really object it.
I don't know, man. I think from a talent level, Kyler's more talented. Like that's fine. But I think production, availability, like clutchness, like quarterback IQ, like and arm talent. The only thing that Kyler Murray's better at than Russell Wilson is mobility, and it's not by a huge margin. He doesn't have a stronger. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Yeah. He's not more accurate. You're looking at You're looking at 7 games, Ryan, compared to a first ballot Hall of Fame career. Your sample size is so bad. Your sample size is so bad.
The 7 games was this season. You're looking at Russell Wilson from last year. Both times.
Russell Wilson last year through 11 games was better than Kyler Murray through 7 games of this year.
Okay, but what is more recent?
That's not. We're not grading quarterbacks based off of this year alone. And if we were, Kyler Murray wouldn't be a top 10 quarterback.
Okay, but the thing is,
he wasn't a top 10 quarterback this year.
He was a Pro Bowler. But the thing is,
you think the Pro Bowler is legit? You think Pro Bowl is a real legit thing? Lamar Jackson's a Pro Bowler. Josh Allen is not a Pro Bowler.
Okay, listen, bro. It's not the point. What I'm trying to say is, we're looking at Russell Wilson from last year, but let's look at Russell Wilson this year. The first half, he was not that impressive by any means. He wasn't great. They were losing games. The Seahawks sucked, and then he comes back after the injury. Sucks even worse. And then the last few games, he got a little fire. But Kyler Murray, through that first 7 games, wipes anything Russell Wilson has done the entire season. Like, it's not close. Like, you're really underappreciating how good Kyler Murray was.
We keep talking about Kyler falling off, but Like Russell does that damn near every year. I mean, last year, like, top 6 games, he was clear-cut MVP, just like Kyler was this year. And then he had the downfall without injuries. And I know that Kyler has fallen off the last 2 years, halfway through the year, both after injuries. But I would like to point out that Kingsbury has fallen off for 8 straight years the second half of the year. He's 42-20 in games 1 through 7, and then the rest of the year he's 16-43. Now, I'm not saying Kyler gets off the hook for that, but I think that has to have something to do with the Cardinals in general just falling off every year.
It's because Kyler's more valuable to his offense.
How does that make?
Yes, because Kyler is the offense.
What?
There's a reason Kyler Murray spreads the ball out so well. It's because he is the offense. He's the run game. He's everything. Russell Wilson is not the run game. Russell Wilson is a great quarterback that is also very important, but he's not as important as Kyler. Kyler's more valuable to his team than Russ.
No.
Yes.
No.
Okay. Well, I disagree. So
that's might be your worst take of the day.
how is that?
Russell
more important? Why?
Russell Wilson is a first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback.
So that makes him more important right now.
I mean, he's still a top 6 quarterback in the NFL.
I mean,
he was the key. No, he wasn't. He's not. Kyler Murray was not a consensus top 10 quarterback entering this year.
He was a top 10 quarterback.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
I easily had him in the top 10. I had him like at 7.
No,
I think I agree with that. I know he was in my top 10.
Yeah, he was in my top 10.
I never once in my life saw him on any top 10 list ever.
And that's on you.
No, show me a post. Find me a post of anyone on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, anywhere.
Devin just had him at 7.
You also have Terry McLaurin. You have Terry McLaurin at 7 in your wide receiver rankings. I don't really value your list like that, RJ.
I do.
That's a horrible take.
Sorry, I don't always have to agree with you, Maximus, but
dude, Terry McLaurin at fucking 7 is horrible.
No, it's really not. If you look at him as a pure player, there's nothing he can't do. He's elite at every single trade except after the catch.
What?
He's like the perfect receiver. Like, he's built in a lab. He's that good. He's fast. He's strong. His hands are some of the best in the league. He's one of the best separators as well.
Bro, I like Terry, but I can't put him that high.
I mean, that's fine. Like I said, you can have him anywhere from like 7 to 12. But like, if I want to have him at 7, you can.
That's bad. It's bad. It's your opinion, but it's really bad. It's like me saying Josh Allen is the best quarterback in football.
Hey, we all have bad opinions though. So I mean, I think Tom Brady's the best quarterback in the league still. So,
like, that's even worse. That's
bad.
Yeah, see, but I'm biased.
That's worse.
I'll admit it too.
You're a Dolphins fan. How are you biased?
How am I biased? I just love Tom Brady. So I live in Tennessee, and people literally like worship the ground that Peyton Manning walks on and everything. And it was just very disgusting. And my dad, for some weird way, raised me a Brady fan. I don't know why. Like, my first NFL jerseys was a Zach Thomas Dolphins jersey with a Tom Brady jersey from the Patriots, which was weird. But I didn't root for the Patriots or Tom Brady when the Dolphins played. But man, when Tom Brady was going against Peyton Manning, I was like, dude, give me Tom Brady all the time.
But I think Rodgers wipes, in my opinion. So does Mahomes, but I guess.
Oh yeah, I mean, I just like being that guy. There's people with like LeBron. Like, a lot of people like LeBron probably arguably could still be the best player in the NBA right now. But he could be 45 and he'd be producing. But there's other people that are clearly better at him at that point, and there still people be like, yeah, LeBron's still the best player. That's me.
I get it. But Max looks like
he muted.
That was fun. Muted. That was fun.
I was talking to my TikTok live stream.
I'm never gonna agree with you though.
Ryan, I don't get it. If you're gonna say that Terry McLaurin's a top 10 talented receiver, sure, or top 5 talent.
I don't value production like that. What's
stupid.
most important to me is
stupid.
the eye test.
That's dumb.
I mean, if you're better at more things, there by definition you're better. So like that's I don't use production as much as others.
No, because under that. Okay, so is DeAndre Hopkins a top 10 receiver then?
Yes, easily.
Okay, so how? Because he's not a good route runner. He's not fast.
He is a good route runner.
No, he's not. He's not a good route runner. He's not a top 10 or even top 15 route runner in the NFL.
He's definitely a top 15 route runner. But even if you don't think that, his hands are so historically great that it doesn't matter. I said that in my video. Like, I used to be the #1 D-Hop hater, and now it seems like I have to defend.
So where is he then? Where is he?
Like 5.
Yeah, D-Hop's a 5 for me.
How is D-Hop above Terry? If that's your criteria.
Again, I don't like production. I don't. But when you are able to produce at that level for that long, it's going to give you a few points. And even if he wasn't doing that, I'd still have him probably.
So why do you have Russ so low then? Because you completely are contradicting yourself.
If I had to take, how did I contradict myself?
Because you said that if someone produces for that long, you have to give them that extra point.
Okay, yeah, I'll give Russell Wilson an extra point, but I would take DeAndre Hopkins' production with Brandon Whedon, whoever else he had, over Russell Wilson, who had
You're acting like Russell Wilson's had like these amazing
some
talent
of
on
the
his team either.
Seahawks team, that Super Bowl team was one of the best teams like ever. So he's had some pretty good teams. This is like the first time in his career that D-Hop has ever had a good team.
I would also say he's never had a bad receiver to throw to. He's always had some main guy he was
Doug
able to throw
Baldwin
to.
was great. Tyler Lockett's been on the team for a minute. DK Metcalf is still a good receiver. Like,
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett have ever been top 10 receivers in the NFL, and right now neither of them are top 15.
DK Metcalf was the top 10 receiver. He put up 1,400 yards. Like
DK Metcalf was not a top 10 receiver last year.
What was it? Was it last year that he put up 1,400 yards?
Yeah, that was last year.
Yeah, it was last year.
And he was the top 10 receiver.
Oh, but I thought you don't value production. So how is he top 10?
I was using your logic, Max.
Well, I can use yours and say that he's not top 10 because he has horrible hands, not good route running. He's just big.
Well, no, he doesn't. The horrible hands narrative is just because he has drops. Like, he still has, like, he can still go up in high point of football. Like, I'd rather have somebody that can consistently make, like, hard, impressive catches than somebody that'll drop a pass on occasion because they're not paying attention.
See, that's why I always tell people, like, when you're doing a top 10 rankings, you need to be specific on what kind of ranking you're making. Because personally, I do overall rankings. So I'm taking a mixture of everything. I'm putting production in there, talent in there, traits in there. I'm putting everything into my top 10 rankings. So that way it's not just one-sided. But, like, too many people, they'll take their top 10 rankings and base it solely off production. So it looks like you might as well just rank the receivers from this year. Then you have other people who just don't care about this year at all. So they just do top 10 biggest wide receivers dang there is what their list looks like. So we got to be more specific.
Mine's 90% traits, 10% production. That's usually what I say.
That is so stupid, man.
How?
Like,
I think.
Okay, then okay. So tell
50-50.
me this then. So where's Josh Gordon then?
Well, Josh Gordon obviously regressed.
Well, Josh Gordon has declined since 2020.
Josh Gordon still has elite traits.
No, he doesn't. He's clearly regressed. He's clearly regressed.
Okay. Where's AB then?
Oh, AB would be top 10.
AB would be top 10 though for sure.
That's awful.
It's not awful though.
Oh, it's not. He also produces when he plays.
Because AB, every time AB plays, he still looks like a top 10.
Yeah, and when does he play? When does he play?
No, that's not my point though. Like,
but if you're gonna rank your receivers and give it.
You asked me.
That's my point, though. It's like if you can't rank AB, you can't rank somebody like Terry as high as those other guys.
I don't rank AB because I don't think he'll ever play in the NFL again, Max. That's why I don't rank him.
Okay, well let's say the last 3 weeks of the NFL season didn't happen, and he's still playing for the Bucs right now. You'd have him top 10.
Yes.
When he missed 7 or 8 games this year, he didn't play all of last year. He hasn't put
every time he played, but he hasn't showed any regression. That's the whole point. Like he looks like the same player.
You have to give AB some Max, and you have to give AB some points though because of what he did at Pittsburgh, like consistently.
He's been great.
He's like one of the best receivers of all time from a production standpoint.
He look like the same player.
Okay, so where's Julio then?
Well,
Julio was good last year. Julio was good last year.
Yeah, but
he was good last year.
Yeah, but this year he's been bad.
Julio's routes have looked sluggish. I saw a whole film review on it. His routes have looked sluggish. His hands aren't the same. Nothing about Julio. When you take Julio's athleticism and you zap it, he's not the same player. Like his athleticism is zapped with all the injuries he's had. He's not the same player. It's sad, but it's true. Antonio Brown is the same player that he's always
Antonio Brown.
What's the difference between 2021
before he got hurt?
What's the difference between Antonio Brown this year and Julio Jones last year?
Again, this year is much more important
Nothing.
than last year.
No. That's not what I'm saying. Nobody would have said that Julio Jones, looking back in hindsight of looking at last year, was a top 5 receiver. Just because he's Julio Jones, you give him that.
I mean, when he played, he
Julio,
looked like a top 5 wide receiver last year.
Okay, and it didn't fucking matter because he's never on the field and he doesn't ever play. And when he does, he has some good games. He has some flashes of that great player that he was, but he's not that same player anymore.
Yeah, and I would drop Julio a little bit because of that. But right now, I'm not dropping it. I'm already dropping AB because if he's the same player from 2018, then he's like the best receiver in the league. And now the fact that he doesn't play, and I would bet that he's probably just regressed a little bit, puts him in that 10 range because I still think he has the same traits and everything, which is why traits are more important than production. Because if you're better at more things, traits, you're the better player by definition. Like it's a pretty easy concept.
It's just wrong, man.
Because production has too many.
You value traits too much.
No, because production has way too many outside things that can
if you don't do shit with your traits, it doesn't fucking matter.
But again, there's other things that
it doesn't matter. It doesn't at all.
Yeah,
if you have the best traits of all time and you do nothing with it, you're not going to get remembered as a good quarterback or a good receiver or a good running back ever.
Receiver that's on one of the worst teams in the league.
Deontay Johnson. That's a guy who's 11 for me.
How are they one of the worst teams in the league?
Come on, bro. Come on. The Eagles has a bottom 5 quarterback.
The Steelers are not one of the worst teams in the league.
Come on, bro.
All agree on that.
The Steelers are a really bad team. They should not even been on.
Okay, fine.
They're not one of the worst. They're not bottom 10.
Deontay Johnson.
What's more important, quarterback play or overall team?
What about Brandon Cooks?
Quarterback play.
Quarterback play for a wide receiver. Quarterback play.
Quarterback play. 100%.
Okay, so having a bottom five quarterback, they don't like Taylor Heineke and Big Ben are like equally as talented. Taylor Heineke's probably better than Big Ben.
Okay, fine.
Yes,
use that
he is.
Use that argument.
He is.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, but how much better is Taylor Heineke from Big Ben?
I think they're both bottom 10.
It's not that big of a difference. But Deontay Johnson is significantly produced more, and he's really talented too. So how can you even have Terry McLaurin over a guy like Deontay Johnson? And RJ, we went through this last night. We went through this last night though. But Terry, what does Darnell Mooney do that Terry McLaurin can't? Or what does Terry McLaurin do that Darnell Mooney can't?
Literally everything.
It's by how much of a margin? Because it's like this big of a margin.
A lot.
It's not. They're both very good route runners. They both have elite hands.
There's one other player that makes that catch against the Chargers. There's maybe one other player that.
Come on, bro. Anybody can cherry pick a fucking catch from a highlight from one time a year.
He leads the NFL in contested catches by like 12, and he doesn't even get nearly as much volume downfield as some other players. Like that is unreal. That's just his hands are some of the best I've ever seen in my entire life. That's how good of a player Terry McLaurin is. And people like to underrate him because production, but production, you need to give context to it. You can't just use production as a sole argument because that's not fair. Put Rodgers in.
I don't use it as a sole argument.
Okay, so so does Terry McLaurin become a better player if Aaron Rodgers joins the team? Just yes or no? Yes or no? His production will go up, but he's still the same player. Just because he has a new quarterback doesn't mean he's a different player. So like, let's say his production.
How does it not mean he's a different player? He's a completely different player.
No, he's the same player. He just got a new.
No, he's not. He's not.
The same traits.
He's not the same player.
So did he get faster? Did his routes get better? Did his hands get better when Rodgers joined?
No. But he has the ability to capitalize on his talent more because he's in a better situation. He's a better quarterback.
Yes, he has a better situation and a better quarterback, but his traits are all still the same, which is what makes a player is the traits.
Yeah, and look at a guy like DeAndre Hopkins who produced at the same elite level as everybody else in the league with shit quarterbacks consistently in his career. That's why he was the consensus top 3 quarterback in his entire career.
And that's kind of why D-Hop was always ranked so high, though, even without the same traits as all the other receivers in the league.
And Terry McLaurin doesn't fucking do that, so you can't put him top 5 or top 7 or top 8. That's stupid.
Because I think from a trait, but I've even said before,
shit argument.
I've even said Terry McLaurin needs to produce more, hands down. Like it really is a concern. But again, I don't care. I know what type of player he is, and I know you put him on any other team, he's one of the most productive players in the league. He just doesn't get the ball enough.
This hypothetical bullshit, bro.
It's not a bullshit. We all know it's true.
I'm telling you right now, if
Deontay Johnson had Aaron Rodgers, would he be better?
Deontay Johnson gets forced the fucking ball. He runs so many drags and slants. It's unreal.
Now he has Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, and trust me, if the Washington football team wanted to put Terry McLaurin on a slant or a drag like Deontay Johnson does, they definitely could. That is where Deontay Johnson gets most of his receptions and targets. Although Deontay Johnson's an incredible.
We also got to think of the other receivers they played with too. Terry McLaurin doesn't play with another good receiver, so he's constantly getting guarded by the cornerback one. Deontay Johnson's not being followed. He's just not.
What?
Not nearly as much as Terry McLaurin.
Deontay gets the CB1 every time. Kieran, are you drunk?
He plays. Okay, but this is the CB1. Okay. Most defenses play zone. There's not going to be a corner that's just following him when he runs those drags. It's just him running a drag and Big Ben throwing to him because he has the arm of a fucking pony.
The only thing that Terry McLaurin does better than Deontay Johnson is hands. That's it. No. Yeah. Deontay's a better route runner. He's better after the catch. He's shiftier.
I think Terry McLaurin is one of the best.
He creates more separation. He's faster. Maybe Terry's stronger.
What?
Terry's definitely
runs like a 4.3. Terry's
definitely faster than Deontay.
Terry runs like a
again, your argument with whatever their 40 time is so fucking stupid. That is not equivalent. When 7 years ago when they entered the league, like why is that even relevant to what we're talking about?
3 years ago.
4 years ago. Why does it matter what their 40 time was when they were 19 and 20 years old?
Okay, but I can still think somebody's faster without being a fucking idiot. Like, come on, bro.
But using a 40 time as someone being faster is just a shallow argument.
Okay, fine. Ready? I think he's faster. What are you gonna do?
Explosiveness, acceleration.
That's
ability to break away.
That's what you hate so much, right?
I don't hate eye test. I value traits, talent, eye test, production, all of that on the same level, on the same playing field. So putting production at 10% and traits at 90, which is completely subjective, will just show how flawed your argument's going to be overall.
I don't know if I agree.
Of course,
it's
subjective because it's my list. It's my list.
Yes, but it's a bad way to judge players. It's bad.
It's my way. It's the way I think is correct. No,
it's a bad way. It doesn't. My way could be bad too, but your way is bad.
But like you have this mindset that everything you do is objective. Like everyone has to do it the way you.
No, I don't. I wouldn't say that anybody else. I wouldn't say that anybody else in here values production at 10% how you do. If someone values production at like 40%,
value production nearly as much as traits. I know for a fact.
Kieran, what's production at? Give me a number.
I say like 70% trades, 30% production.
I still think that's bad.
That's too much.
I still think that's bad.
That's too much.
I
think that's bad, but I think 10% production is really, really bad.
No,
because a lot of it is production.
Yes, and I guarantee you ask scouts, what do they look more into, production or traits? They probably look at traits because they're
out of college is a completely different argument, man. That's not even judging a player in the NFL. Right now, or how they've played in the NFL, it's different than judging a player coming out of college.
Okay, do you think when a team game plans for a player, they turn on the tape to see their tendencies and their routes and stuff? They don't look at their production because they want to look at the players how he is as a player, not the
game planning for a player does not directly correlate to how good a player is and what their ranking is.
It kind of does.
Do you think teams game plan for Terry McLaurin more than game plan than Cooper Kupp?
No.
But so Cooper Kupp is better, right?
No, because teams also have to game plan around Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay. Like that's a really bad argument.
You really think Terry McLaurin is better than Cooper Kupp?
No, actually, yeah. Wait, yes, I do because I have Terry like at 7, Cooper Kupp at like 9, 8, 7 ish. So yeah, I do think Terry McLaurin is a better player than Cooper Kupp. Not everyone has to agree with you, man.
Ryan, it's not about agreeing with me. It's about your entire logic. It's about your entire logic of how you grade a player is fucking stupid. No, I wouldn't care if Roundup had 50-50 production traits or even 40-60 is like fine. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care if Cheesy had 50-50 or if he had 60-40 in favor of production. And Kieran being 30-70 doesn't even bother me. But when you're looking at literally only traits, you don't care at all about production. You don't care, and that's really bad. Like, no, it's not. Really bad. It is. The way I do it. Okay, well, you can have your opinion. I can have mine. I think your way of judging players.
The way I see it, I see it, because like, I mean, we can argue about this for days or whatever, but traits. So the way I see it, traits are important. Like that's specific to certain player. But at the end of the day, you can have all the traits in the world, and if you don't produce, you're not going to be mentioned.
Production has too many variables to it. And so like, there's so many things that control production, not just the player. Quarterback play,
an elite player, a top 5 player, a top 10 player gets it done, whether the situation is good or not.
Here's the thing. Then a lot of people like to, especially when coming out of college or whatever, they liked the potential of the traits that Sam Darnold had at the QB position, but yet he hasn't produced.
Well, Sam Darnold's not that talented.
But to be fair, though, when you look at Sam Darnold, he does look like, at least coming out of college, he looked like he had the traits.
Yes, I agree. Like coming out of college, I watch a lot of college football.
Traits for quarterbacks are so much different than traits. Okay, traits for
I'm just saying in general, though. I'm saying in general, like a lot of people were looking at the potential of Sam Darnold's traits coming out of college. I mean, and they took a draft pick on him, and it hasn't came through. He has no production, and so like it's a hit or miss. Like, yes, traits are important because at the end of the day, like I see where you're coming from, RJ. Like at the end of the day, your traits is what gets you in the NFL. But at the end of the day, like you still have to be able to produce because there's been so many people like Jamarcus Russell, all these other people who've had traits.
They don't have good traits. That's the thing. You guys think like traits is just physical for me. Traits is like, and traits for receivers is completely different. Like traits for quarterbacks is I look at accuracy, smart, like decision making, arm strength, all that.
What are the
stuff.
traits for receivers then?
Traits.
What are the traits for receivers then?
Like ability to high point of football, separation at the catch, separation like in and out of routes, hands, just overall.
Wait, no. How is separation one of the most important things for you when you say that separation stats are flawed? Do you watch every single snap of every single receiver to judge who has the best separation?
No, but I do watch a lot of the top 10 receivers.
A lot does not mean watching the game casually. A lot would be watching every single snap of every single game and every single route. There's no way you watch that.
Okay, and I don't need to watch every single snap to make it a list. I can.
Then it's not an accurate list of. Then if you're judging people off that, it's not
accurate.
From what
I've seen from the players that I've watched, I can make a list off of it. It's off of my opinion because I've seen a lot of football, right? And the football that I've seen from a Keenan Allen and a Deebo Samuel is enough to put me over and say Deebo Samuel is better It's I don't care what the production says. Like, I've seen enough of both players to come to a conclusion. It's not like I barely watch any of these players. I watch all of these players like every week.
So
I don't need to
how,
look
how,
at
do, how do you watch a player like Cooper Kupp or Jamar Chase or Keenan Allen and not put them over Terry McLaurin or Deebo Samuel?
Because Cooper Kupp, his life is easier. Although he's still a phenomenal receiver, he's a top 10 receiver, right? But Deebo Samuel and Terry McLaurin, the way they play is much more impressive than the way Cooper Kupp
Well,
plays.
let me hear the rest of your top 5 then, Ryan, real quick. Let me hear your top 5.
1 Tay, 2 Jefferson, 3 Diggs or Hill, and then 5 Hop. 6 is a mix of Jamar, Deebo, Terry.
Okay, see,
then
then that's
Deebo at 6?
then that's my question.
Yeah.
Is like then
It's
I
not
have
crazy.
Deebo at 8.
if you're putting it based off that much on traits, then why is Stephon Diggs over Tyreek Hill?
Because Stephon Diggs has some of the best traits in the league.
I'd say the
What?
only thing is
The only thing he's lead at is route running. That's it.
That he has elite hands. He's
No, he
pretty good after
doesn't.
the
He
catch.
does
He's
not
very
have.
good at
He's
understanding
dropped
zones and
5
concepts.
touchdowns this year, Ryan.
Those are
5
consistent
touchdowns.
things.
5 touchdowns he's
Those-
dropped. How can you ignore
I
that?
don't care. I
You
rather.
are- this is
Those
such
are
a bad
random. Those
argument.
are random. Those are random. It's not
Dropping
anything
touchdowns
against
is
it.
random.
Yeah, I think sometimes that is a
I
random.
feel like
thing,
drops
yes.
are like overrated.
They are so overrated because it's more of a concentration.
I mean,
thing.
like,
It's not as much.
didn't
physical
Jamar
tap.
Chase lead the league in drops? I still
He
think he
did.
has good hands. Like,
Debo led the league in drops. Actually, he did for like the first few weeks. I know. I don't know if he still does.
See, I don't
but
know how I feel
Shock
about like
rankings,
going based
bro.
off traits. I still don't know how I feel about Debo being that high.
Debo doesn't
I
have
mean,
elite
I
wide receiver
Debo
traits.
too.
He has elite player traits. He doesn't have a single elite wide
okay,
receiver
this-
trait
this
besides
narrative-
that.
You have to
Okay,
put
this
in a
narrative-
category of his own, honestly, because
Okay.
the way
No,
he's utilizing the 49ers offense, like he's used as a running back, he's used to catch the ball, like he doesn't have really a position. So I can't. It's like kind of hard to
Okay, But this is
rate
the.
him.
I want to
He's
talk
kind of
about
like
your.
a Jabril Peppers in a way.
I understand, but I want to talk about your pure receiver thing. Just because a player doesn't fit your standards of what a pure receiver is, doesn't mean he's not that good of a pure receiver. Just because he isn't the route runner, he doesn't need to be the route runner because he's so electric with the ball in his hands. Teams have to game plan around him. He has a sense of gravity that no other player, no other receiver has, other than maybe Tyreek Hill.
and also,
Teams-
I think Debo's yak alone just like outweighs any other wide receiver traits.
I'd rather have Debo's yak ability than a great route runner, like something like that.
I
You'd
cannot
rather
agree
have
with that.
Debo's
I
yak ability than
cannot agree
Stephon
with
Diggs.
that.
Yes.
Route running's so low.
Then why isn't Jerry Judy that high for you, right? Because he's one of the
Because
best.
Jerry
route
Judy
runners
gets
in the
he's
league.
been hurt too much.
Because Jerry
He
Judy's
hasn't
slow.
produced. He
He's
hasn't
injury
produced.
prone. He has
But
bad
also
hands.
Jerry
He's
Jeudy's
not
had
fast.
no
He's
good
not a red zone
production.
threat.
He
Like
is
what?
fast, and
No, he's not. Jerry Judy is not fast. Jerry Judy is
He
slow as shit. Have you watched Jerry
Slow
Judy
as
play?
Yes, I watched all of his Oklahoma tape, but
No, we're not
I've
talking
got
about Oklahoma.
Alabama.
Jerry Judy. And
Jerry Judy
Alabama,
played
Jerry
Alabama
Judy.
anyway.
I meant to say Alabama because CeeDee Lamb played for Oklahoma. That's what I meant. You know.
What? We're not
I-
talking
I
about college
switched it.
players. We're talking about right now in the NFL.
I've watched CeeDee Lamb and not CeeDee. Fuck Jerry Judy, and I know he's not slow. I know he's not slow.
He is slow.
Okay, that's your opinion, but that doesn't mean it's true, Max. Like, do you see how upset you get because somebody disagrees? Because you have like this thing
No,
where
because
you think
your
everybody has
opinion
to
is
agree with
horrible.
you.
I don't think so. I don't think
You guys
Roundup,
think Jerry Judy
Cheesy,
is slow.
or Kieran agree with anything I'm saying. None of you agree with the fact that I think Kyler Murray is in top 6 or top 7. I don't care. But when your entire
literally
base of
agree
your
with what?
argument is no one agrees with me. No one thinks that everyone in here thinks Kyler Murray is better than Joe Burrow. Yes, we can agree on that.
No, but your argument was that he's not top 6, and if Russell Wilson's better, then he's not top 6. So
Okay.
they agreed with
Okay. Then no one agrees with me that he's not top 7, and that's a hot take. So no one agrees with me on that. That doesn't even bother me. What bothers me is the basis of your entire argument is so flawed. It's a
No,
really
it's
bad
not
way of judging
flawed. It's a
players.
different
It
way of
is.
thinking.
You
It's a
know,
different way of thinking.
you're
Your way of
thinking
thinking isn't
you
the
think
only
you're
right
being
way, man.
different here. You think because it's so different that it's
No,
like
I
woke
just
or something.
I just think
No
that
one
it's
else
not
thinks
fake.
this way. If
No,
no one else
there's
thinks
many
that,
people. Twitter is
no.
just like you, man.
If
it's-
no one else thinks this way, Ryan, there's a problem. If you think that,
it's not.
yes,
I look at
yes.
players differently. It's not.
yes. If no one else thinks that way, Ryan, it's a problem.
No,
It's just the
that's not
reality of it.
true. That's not
Yes.
true. I don't need other people.
No
to see it
NFL
to
GM,
validate
no
how I
NFL
think.
scout, no person
I
on
don't
Twitter that
care.
I've
I
ever
don't-
seen
I don't care.
values
I don't
production at
care.
10% and traits at
Max,
90. That doesn't
Max,
exist.
That's how you think, bro. But I don't have to think like you. I don't.
You don't. But when your basis
Yeah,
argument
you
is really
really
bad
do
and
think
I
I
think
do.
it's bad, when I think it's bad, I can tell you it's bad.
Yeah, no, but you're telling me the way you think is wrong. It's not.
I
right.
think it's wrong. Yes, I think it's wrong. I think it's completely
that's
wrong.
your opinion, but it's
It's
not
just-
an object fact.
There's just so many things that like can be subjective about the traits. So like I kind of understand where Max is coming from a little bit there because like it's so subjective sometimes. Like if you go based off traits and compared to production like that, then Dalvin Cook trait wise would be the best running back in the league.
I agree.
No.
I think when he's healthy, he has an argument to be that.
Okay.
I keep my logic consistent. I think
love
Nick
Dalvin
Chubb, Jonathan
Cook.
Taylor, Derrick Henry.
I think
Dalvin Cook all have
Chubb,
arguments to be the best.
Taylor, Henry are all up there. Like, and I have Cook at 4. Like,
Yeah, that's literally
that's where
what
I put
think.
Cook out. Yeah,
I think Chubb is the best back.
RJ, where's Kamara at then?
Cook. He
5.
should have been a
Kamara's at
hurt
5.
Easily
Is that
5.
5?
Five.
Easily at 5. He's better than Eckler
Contact
by
balance,
far.
vision, everything. He has it. And of course, the elite
He's not
receiving ability.
Dude,
He's the
Joe
best
Mixon
receiving back
Joe
in the
Mixon is
NFL.
not better than what?
No, yeah, Alvin Kamara.
He's the best receiving back in the NFL.
Yes.
Easily
You're on
is.
crack.
Yes.
He easily is.
Oh my
Yes, easily
god,
is.
bro.
Just because Christian
No.
McCaffrey gets 5-yard swing passes doesn't make him a better receiver, I'm afraid. But
Christian McCaffrey's a better route runner, better
No, he's
hands,
not.
better.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
There's not.
This is unreal to me that I'm hearing this right now.
Okay.
This is unreal.
It's unreal because
unfathomable.
people think differently, man. It really is.
No, it's not. That's not.
It is. That's why you're
Ryan, your entire argument that's saying what I'm saying back to you is just, oh, you're getting upset, or oh, you think
You
things
are.
differently than you. Yes, it's fucking it's stupid that you think that Alvin Kamara is a better receiver than Christian McCaffrey.
He
That is bad.
It's
Yes.
not a stupid.
Alvin
Sorry.
Kamara
Sorry,
is a
I
product
don't
of Drew Brees.
grind the base stats all fucking day. I can catch 5-yard swing passes too. Like Alvin Kamara is a genuine elite receiver. He doesn't.
What?
Yes. For the running back
So
position.
bad, bro.
For the
Alvin Kamara was a product of Drew Brees' entire career.
but he could actually line up at receiver and run routes.
Can McCaffrey not?
Just not at the same level of Kamara.
You're wrong. He's done it more than Kamara has.
No,
I
he's not.
disagree. I disagree.
Yes, he has.
No.
He's not.
Yes, he has.
No.
Alvin Kamara might be like the 5th best receiving back in football. Like Aaron Jones,
No,
Cordero Patterson, Austin Eckler, and Christian McCaffrey are all better than him.
Cordell is like he doesn't count because he's literally both positions. He's labeled as both. So I mean, okay, fine. If you want to say Cordell, fine. But otherwise, and that means Cordell has to be the best receiving back in the NFL.
No,
Like,
no.
He can run routes better
No.
than Christian McCaffrey. He has better hands than Christian McCaffrey. He's
No, he
literally
doesn't.
better at everything receiving wise
No.
than Christian McCaffrey.
No, he's not faster. He's not a better route runner. He has better hands.
He
Like
does have better. What?
it's crazy how recency bias.
have you ever seen Christian McCaffrey run a deep route? How do you know he's a better route
Yes,
runner?
Yeah,
yes. Christian McCaffrey mosses people.
That's just,
Somebody, we have 60 people on here. I want one of those 60 people to show me a clip of Christian McCaffrey mossing anybody, please.
I'll show you. I'll find a deep route from Christian McCaffrey. How about
And
that?
if it is, it's a wheel route. That's not route running. Cordell Patterson can run post. He can run corner post. He can run zigs. He can run everything. Christian McCaffrey, I promise you.
Max, how can you see that Aaron Jones is a better receiving back than Alvin Kamara?
He's a better
That's
route runner.
terrible.
He's
not a better
bigger.
route runner.
Aaron
He
Jones
is.
doesn't line up. He stays in the backfield. He doesn't line up as a receiver like ever.
Aaron Jones does run up as receiver.
Then what type of routes is it? Is it drags? I want to see.
I mean, a lot of it's him in the slot.
Okay, yeah, that's what most running backs are. If not, they're out wide on like a 5-wide type thing. But the Alvin Kamara can run routes better than any other running back in the league, other than if you want to count Cordell Patterson.
Then why was his production so down this year?
I mean, he was
Because
injured.
there's
He
a
was
lot
one
of
the
there's a
worst
lot of
O-lines
things
in the
that go into
league,
production.
like-
It's not a black and white thing where he's the reason his production sucks. There's so many things that go into production.
I mean,
Yeah,
like
it's not just
he missed 4 games. Like his O-line like regressed heavily. Like
Bro, he still has a better O-line than Christian McCaffrey. He still has arguably better quarterback situation than Christian McCaffrey's had over the past 3 years.
okay, man. All right.
Is that wrong?
No, it's not. But what is?
So
what
what's
does
the
that
point
have
of
to do?
saying that then?
Saying what? That he's a better player.
What's
I
what's
think
the
he's a
no?
better player.
Kieran said his O-line took a hit this year, and that his team is worse.
Yep.
It's not though. His O-line is
No.
still better than Christian McCaffrey.
But
He
that's
still has
not
better
what you
quarterback
asked. That's not what
situation.
you
how
asked.
much?
That's not what you asked.
What?
How much better is it than Christian McCaffrey?
It was significantly better over the last 3 years, and this year maybe a little bit better because it was bad this year.
But what does that have to do with Alvin Kamara's production? Which you asked. You said, why was his production down? So he told you. It had nothing to do with Christian
Okay,
McCaffrey.
and Christian McCaffrey still produces in a worse situation. He still produces more
Force-fed the ball on 5-yard swing
because
passes.
he's
Alvin Kamara
a
could carry-
crazy concept. You force feed players that are better in that role.
No, it's just Alvin Kamara. There's 2 different schemes. It's 2 different schemes.
No.
It's not-
The entire scheme for Alvin Kamara when Drew Brees was there to force feed him 2-yard slants or dump off passes when his average depth of target was behind the line of
So was
scrimmage.
Christian McCaffrey's, I'm pretty sure.
Christian McCaffrey ran more deep routes in 2020 than Alvin
What are
Kamara
you-
did.
Okay, the deep
Christian
routes. I
McCaffrey's
want to
average depth of
clarify.
target was like
What are
0.
his deep routes? Are they wheel routes or are they actual?
Christian
posts?
McCaffrey run go routes last year.
Okay.
He legit ran routes that were like
Again,
40 yards
I
down the
want-
field.
I want people to send me a clip of him catching a go route or a mossing somebody, like you said, because there's no way. It's not. I've never seen. That would be all over if Christian McCaffrey mossed somebody.
The reason it was 2019 that he did a lot of these things. In 2020, he didn't moss anybody, and he was injured for.
years ago.
Okay, when was the last time that Alvin Kamara was good? last year.
Alvin Kamara was good this year.
He was not good this year.
How many all total yards did he? He had like 1,500. I'm pretty sure.
Ugh,
Like,
I don't know
close
if
to
he
it.
had. I don't know if he had that.
It's a lot of yards. It's a pretty good season, I would say. He was a Pro Bowler, right? It's a pretty good season, man.
Pro Bowl. Back to this Pro Bowl argument, Ryan.
I mean, you're acting like he didn't deserve it, though.
He didn't deserve it.
Who deserved it?
I mean, who else is in the NFC?
Did he even make the Pro Bowl?
Cordero Patterson should have been a Pro Bowler.
Cordero Patterson should have got it over him for sure.
That's one.
Okay, one player. There's one player. I mean, dude,
James Conner was already in there.
did you not see like all of the shit all over Twitter?
Huh?
All the shit all over. Did you not see you're a Twitter guy? Did you not see all the shit all over Twitter saying that Alvin Kamara did not deserve the Pro Bowl at all? Which he didn't.
I forgot about Cordell Patterson, so fine. But still, regardless, he had a good enough season to get some Pro Bowl votes. Like, if you're unless you're like an Evan Ingram type player, you most likely had a good season if you're a Pro Bowler.
I don't know if that was a good thing to say though, because like the NFC running back group was kind of weak this year. Very weak NFC running back.
It was.
Okay, fine. Then take away the Pro Bowl argument. It doesn't change how I think about it. He's still a top 5 running back in my eyes.
How can he be?
I don't know. I personally take CMC over Alvin Kamara still. I know I'm a big guy
I don't
that
know how
doesn't
you
like
can
his
say that
either, and I usually
don't rank
him
that,
but
anymore.
I like Christian McCaffrey over Alvin Kamara.
It's like ranking Michael Thomas. You can't really.
I mean,
I don't know, man. Alvin Kamara is not a good rusher. That's just the reality of it.
Yes, he is. That is such a bad take.
It's not a bad take.
I mean, like, why is he not a good rusher?
I mean,
can I just read something real quick?
It seems like It seems like when you point out your running backs and like how you rank them, you seem to use traits, Max, more than production. So it's a little weird.
I keep my how I grade players very similar amongst
You literally
the
were
board.
talking about how he's a worse this, he's a worse that, he's a worse
Yes, because he hasn't produced.
But neither has Christian McCaffrey.
Okay, and if neither of them produced, what are we gonna look at, Ryan?
Alvin Kamara outproduced him this year because he played.
It's just such a stupid argument. Christian McCaffrey was
You
out for
care
the
about
entire
health
year.
a lot, right?
I do care about health, and that's why neither of them are in my top 5.
But who do you have over? Do you have Christian McCaffrey over Alvin Kamara?
I do. Yeah,
Why?
I have Joe Mixon over them as well, both of them.
I disagree.
And Dalvin Cook and Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry and Nick Chubb.
Yep, those are
I
fine.
mean, like, this is like the first time that Joe Mixon like actually produced at elite level. Like,
Yeah, he was like one of the most inefficient running backs in the NFL, like for the past few years.
Dude, worst O-line maybe in the league.
I know.
Why are you pointing?
matters.
Why are you pointing out how inefficient Joe Mixon was when Alvin Kamara averaged 3.6 yards per
All
carry?
I'm saying is that inefficiency should have dropped.
Yeah,
Joe
but like
Mixon
also
way
like
down
you're
in
not
your
taking into
rank.
account that Kamara was injured this year.
Yeah,
Oh, come on.
Dude,
come
it's
on.
like a valid
that's
argument.
That's
like,
pretty valid. You're a running back. You use your legs a lot. If one of that's hurt, like, that's probably gonna.
Antonio Gibson was injured the entire year. Had equally as bad of O-line and was better.
I mean, what was Gibson's like yards per carry, or what was his like rushing yards over expected?
I was gonna
Rushing yards over expected. Okay.
I was gonna read you some of Kamara's stats because the first thing that I noticed since he's entered the league, except for 2020, his average rushing yards has gone down, and then it went back up in 2020, and then this year he averaged 3.7 yards per carry, and he's never ran for 1,000 yards in his career.
I don't
in
care.
a season.
Well, that's a bad way of looking at it.
I could care less, to be honest.
And,
How though? If he's really that elite, wouldn't he do that? If he's such a great rusher, would he rush for 1,000
it's
yards?
because he also
I
has
mean,
receiving.
but,
He's had
like,
like 1,800 all total.
But ever since
seasons.
he's like been in the league, like
He's never had 1,800 total yards in one
Whatever.
season.
What was it? 1,700, 1,600. That's still very impressive. I don't
One
care.
time, Christian McCaffrey had a 2,000 yard season.
What did he have this season?
He had
He had-
439 receiving yards and 898
So that's
rushing
1,200. That's a 1,200 all total yards. That's a pretty
13,
good season.
yeah, it's like 1,300 all yard
pretty
season.
good season for a running back.
I mean, yeah, I'd say it's pretty good. I'd say it's probably top 10. I wouldn't say that's a top 5 season.
You
though.
said he
I
had a
mean,
bad season. You
I feel
literally said.
that is a bad season for Alvin Kamara based on what he did last year and the year before.
But
That
you
is a
think
bad
Alvin Kamara
season.
isn't as good as others think. So how is that a bad season?
He's not as good as Christian McCaffrey.
He
He's
also
putting up
missed
1300.
4
He is.
games.
He's better
so-
than Christian McCaffrey.
No, he's not better than Christian McCaffrey.
He missed 4 games.
Yes.
He played 13
He
games.
played
this year,
13.
So that's 4.
That's a lot of yards.
he still had 50 receptions and 240 carries.
Okay,
It's
but
more
that,
than Nick
okay,
Chubb.
that means if he had 1,300 yards in 13 games, he's averaging 100 yards a game. So like, let's just say he played the rest of the games. That would have been a prolific season. That would have been a great season.
Yeah, and again, hypothetical, he can't stay healthy. So it doesn't matter.
But look, even though he played his
stay
lowest
healthy.
amount of
Like,
games this
what?
year, he still had the most amount of carries in his
8
career
games in
by
his career,
far.
I think.
He had 46 more carries than his previous career high this year, and that was
Yeah,
in less
Because
games.
Drew Brees left, and so
Exactly, because he's a Drew Brees.
But he
he's
still
a
had
Drew Brees.
67 targets.
Then you okay, but you have to say if you're gonna say he's a product of Drew Brees, Max, then you have to use the same logic for any other quarterback that the Panthers used because he would get force fed checkdowns in swing passes.
No. If you want to say he's a product of that offense or a product of that scheme, that's fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Mike Davis was not good after Christian McCaffrey came.
He was good for like 3 games. Like
maybe 2. I mean, again,
he got himself a contract for the Falcons.
He got himself a contract, but we all know that
and notice how Mike Davis
he's not good.
Dog shit. It's because that scheme is super running back friendly.
Oh, so you think that Christian McCaffrey will be dog shit if he leaves?
I obviously not dog shit, but I don't think he would be the same player he's viewed as.
Do you think he'll be a top 10 running back if he leaves?
I don't think he's a top 10 running back right now. Yeah, he's so injured. He hasn't played the past 2 years. I don't rank Michael Thomas in the top 10. I don't rank Christian McCaffrey.
How many games do you think?
Christian McCaffrey has missed more games than Alvin Kamara. So
yes, and I don't rank Christian McCaffrey because of how hurt he is, how consistently hurt he is.
Yeah, but like Kamara's at least missed like 1 game.
RJ, how many games do you think Christian McCaffrey played this year?
Like 7, right? I remember we talked about.
Yeah, 7. He played half the season.
That's not half the season. That's like he played. There's another 11 weeks. So.
Like he played 33%, 35% of the season.
8 or 9 games.
And how many did he miss last year? How many did he miss last year as well?
He missed 13 games last year.
Look,
that's a lot of games missed.
We got to put it in perspective. Those 7 games that he played, though, he was averaging 4.5 yards a carry running the ball. He had a 90% catch percentage. He caught 90% of his targets on 41 targets. 9.3 yards.
Alvin
per
Kamara
reception.
doesn't check.
9.3 yards per reception. Those aren't just swing routes.
No, they most definitely are. Most of Christian McCaffrey's routes.
What?
I would put a deal on.
9.3 yards per reception.
If you're going to call Christian McCaffrey a route merchant, it's going to be a Texas route. That's his favorite route.
After the stream, let's go to. I don't know what website it was. I forgot. Let's go to his route tree. I will put money on it with any of you that most of his routes were swings.
No, I promise you, the highest one's going to be Texas routes. Texas routes is his favorite route.
Okay, Texas route or a swing route. Either of them, I will put money on it.
And also, ever since like Alvin Kamara was drafted to the Saints, they've always done a running back by committee. That's not because like
we're reading the comments.
I mean, it's true. Like they had Mark Ingram, like, and then they had Latavius Murray. That's not because Alvin Kamara gets hurt. It's because the system they run. Like
exactly.
So we have to assume that if he got more carries, that he would be just as good, right? Or he'd be better. Right?
Yes.
We have to just assume.
Yes.
I honestly think.
Okay. Well, when he got more carries, he had a worse season.
Exactly. That's my point. Like I think if he had the more carries,
but he was
lower
also
his
hurt.
production.
He was also hurt.
That whole offense was in shambles.
Yeah, but Alvin Kamara never had to.
They're also on like their 7th-string O-line. Like
yeah,
he's never had to fully
at
hold
the end of the
workload,
year.
Though.
Like
when you need a 3rd and 1, they weren't bringing in Alvin Kamara. They were bringing in Mark Ingram.
Because Mark Ingram's bigger. I would do.
Yeah, but that's kind of my point. So that's why his yards per carry
weight-wise,
would look better because he wasn't taking those short runs. So when you're not taking those short runs, your yards per carry is going to get boosted because you're not having to get those 1 to 2 yard first downs.
How many rushing touchdowns did Alvin Kamara get?
He had 4 this year.
I just had it up.
4 in 13 games. It's not terrible. I mean, he's getting the ball.
Last year,
bad.
It's not horrible.
He had 16 the year before.
16 rushing touchdowns. So
I mean, yeah, but like.
Oh, shut up! He had 6 in 1 game. That's such a.
I know.
Yeah, let's take away a player's best game. They're not the same.
No,
player.
you take away you take away the player's game. It's literally never going to happen again in his career. If it was like a 3 touchdown game, sure, give it to him. But it will never happen again. Ryan, I'll put $1,000
take away a game just because.
Ryan, $1,000. $1,000. Alvin Kamara will not have a 4+ touchdown game in his career again.
Okay, ready? The D hop
4+
shouldn't have counted because it won't ever happen again. Like you can't just use that logic and take it away.
I mean, like you can't take away a player's best game.
No, it's not because you're saying. No,
but no. But you have to add context. If you're gonna say he had a 16 touchdown season, okay, sure. Make sure you. I do add context to almost every argument.
Context to any situation, any production.
I've given context to everything I say about Cooper Kupp ever, or Jamar Chase, or Keenan Allen, or literally any receiver.
Top 3 receiver. That's definitely not context.
And I literally went back on that take in maybe a day, and now he's at 6 for me.
Everything. You said
everything. What?
You said everything you give context to. Obviously not.
About 3 or 4 weeks ago, Ryan, and you know this, I was the exact opposite of you how I valued a player. Probably like 70 to 80% production, 20% traits. So I cared more about that.
Yeah,
I'm much more on a more level playing field.
Yeah,
it changes. It changes how you value players.
Yeah, so you're starting to lean towards more of the traits, right?
No, I will never be more leaning towards trait because it doesn't matter if you have elite traits if you don't produce with it.
Meaning like you're starting to lean, like you're starting to like.
I would say I'm like 70, 75. I'd say I'm like 65, 35. I'd say.
I disagree with that, like inherently, but.
Well, sure, yeah, we disagree on that. That's fine. Everyone knows that. That's not the point.
But I'm gonna let you think like that because I don't. It's not wrong to think like that if you want. It's not.
When
It's not crazy.
I think
stupid
I
idiot
think I think it's crazy and stupid idiot for you to think 98% traits and 10% production.
That's your opinion then, man.
It is my opinion. It is my opinion.
But you can't just be like, you're wrong. You're a dumbass idiot.
I
Like,
think
come
you're
on,
wrong.
man, chill out.
I think you are a dumbass for valuing 90% of traits.
Jesus,
that's
man,
on you,
just
man.
calm
Like,
down.
come on, bro.
Ryan, I wouldn't bring this up if you don't keep addressing the fact that I think you're a dumbass for it. I'm not going to back down on my take. I think that's true.
Dude.
I know, but like, it's just.
I wouldn't bring it up if he keeps
to.
bringing it up. Ryan, you can either drop it, I won't bring it up, or you can keep it. You can keep it going because I will stick on this take. I think it's an idiotic take.
I'm just saying that's a bad mindset to have. That's a really bad mindset.
I don't think anyone else in here has an idiotic take. I've never said anyone else in here has an idiotic take.
I know, but I'm saying just because people disagree with you heavily doesn't mean that they're a dumbass. That's all I'm trying to say, bro.
Everyone else in here disagrees with me heavily on something.
Yeah, and I bet if they weren't here, you'd call them dumbass.
I disagree on Ryan, like, but I respect his opinion. Like,
exactly.
I respect Ryan's opinion, but I can call him an idiot.
This traits thing has worked so well for me. Most of my takes have hit. Almost all of them have worked off of this traits thing. Chase Young being a bust was all traits.
Okay.
And he is looked terrible his second year. Like one of the worst edges in the league, terrible. That's how bad his numbers were this year. And last year was the most disappointing defensive rookie of the year season ever. Like that.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
No, you put him in any other defense rookie of the year, he loses it. Like he got so lucky winning that award. I'm pretty sure he was in the Pro Bowl too. That's a joke.
Yeah, he was.
I mean,
No.
he probably didn't deserve the Pro Bowl.
He deserved the D-Roy. Maybe you can say Jeremy.
I mean,
shit,
like,
but otherwise,
to be fair, there weren't that many great rookies last year.
my D-Hop take aged pretty well. He was a consensus top 2 receiver. Now he's not on the top 5.
I feel like that's a lot more to do with his injury, though.
And also,
Max
I think it's like people don't realize that like the Cardinals like spread the ball out more than any other team in the NFL.
Yeah, they run a different offense than every other offense in the league. So,
like I know like people want like to hear this, but like if you put like Justin Jefferson on that situation, I think he would like he probably produce better than Diop because he's a better receiver than Diop, but like it wouldn't be like over 1,500 yards. It's just like wouldn't happen.
and no, I know Chase Young tore his ACL, guys. I'm just saying before he tore his ACL, he led the league in penalties. He was like bottom 40 in win rate, pressures, sacks, like everything. He was really bad.
He tore his ACL what, like week 3?
No, like
No, it was a little later. It was a little
9.
later. Yeah, I feel like it was earlier than that though. Like probably week 6 sounds right.
Yeah, I think
I made a tweet on it. I don't know. I can just look, but whatever it was, he still played a solid amount of games. And
also, it's like the Cardinals' offense like took a dip when Diop was hurt. Like
yeah, because D-Hop's a
Well,
top
yeah,
player.
when you lose that good of a receiver, your offense is going to take
like a
dip.
Hall of Fame wide receiver.
Yeah.
But also, Kyler Murray wasn't playing good.
Well, okay, yeah, that's true. That is
I
true.
mean, he also got hurt, but yeah.
But I
How'd
mean,
you
he
bring
gets
up
hurt
that?
every year, and the same thing happens. He's a very predictable player, as far as that.
Yeah, but like if Kyler Murray was like healthy for a full season, I think he could be a top 5 quarterback.
Well, yeah, but there's a lot of but ifs.
Hypothetical doesn't mean anything.
Hypotheticals aren't bad to
dude.
you.
You can't just
Hypotheticals aren't
say
bad to
that.
use if it's an obvious. Like,
Dude,
really is.
hypotheticals are so stupid because we don't know if it'll ever
it's not.
happen.
No, it's not. If hypotheticals are obvious, it's not bad to use.
Dude,
If it's like a
the
50-50
common thing I'm seeing with like you and Kieran's argument here, and like with a lot of like you guys talking about quarterbacks and wide
Okay.
receivers, is a lot of it subjected to whatever you think and you see and you think
is this
could
a-
happen.
Is this bad argument to use because it's a hypothetical? Terry McLaurin would be better if he had Aaron Rodgers.
No
We don't
shit.
know. We don't
Any
know.
receiver in the
Hypothetical,
NFL.
We don't
But any
know.
any
Max.
receiver any receiver in the NFL will be better with Aaron Rodgers. That's the one.
a
That's like
hypothetical. We don't
that's the
We
I don't
don't
even know what's it called. It's like that's the outlier. That's not even a good argument.
Okay, if
The
blah,
better
blah, blah
argument
had
the better
line-
argument would
Yeah,
be
but
like
the thing is, most elite receivers have elite quarterbacks.
Yes.
Like,
almost all of them.
that is true. That is
Well,
true.
then,
Like,
yeah.
I can
So
I can
think
agree.
about it in this way: if you gave Terry McLaurin Kirk Cousins, do you think he would still produce better?
I mean, look how Justin Jefferson.
No, I think he's worse than Justin Jefferson.
No, I know that's not my point. I'm not saying would he produce better than Justin Jefferson. I'm saying
Oh,
if
no,
you
I'm
gave
not
Terry
saying that,
McLaurin
but
Kirk
he would-
Cousins,
he would
would he
absolutely
be better
He
than
would
he is
look
now?
way.
Yeah,
He would
yeah,
be
of course.
reviewed as a way better receiver.
Yeah,
But
but he's still
again,
the same
though,
player, just with
but
better
again, though,
quarterback
the
play.
reality is that
I
he's
don't
on
know
the
why his ranking
Washington football
changes.
team.
Yes, which is
And he's
going to
never
ruin
produced
his
at a
career
level of a top 10 receiver. So how can we even have him there in the first place?
because the talent is evident enough to put me in that top 10.
There's 10 players more talented than him though.
I disagree. I think he's one of the most
I mean,
talented
I have
football
Terry
players
at
in
10.
the
That's
entire
just my
universe.
I have Terry at like 9 or 10. I'll have to do my rankings again, but I have him in that little area.
See, They're giving context to it though. Like they're giving context to his production because they know he's a talented player, right?
I know he's talented too. I think
You
I
have
think
him at
he's
like
probably
15. Like that's
I have him at
terrible.
14.
I don't
I'm not
think-
going to have him
okay.
over CeeDee Lamb. I'm not
Well,
going to have him over
I don't
AJ
think-
Brown. I'm not going to have him
14's
over.
that bad of a take either because like I'm still a firm
Thank you.
believer in the people between the areas of like in my areas of 8 and 14 are all the same tier of receiver, and I feel like they can really be ranked in any direction.
That's fair. Terry's better than Devontae.
I mean, I have AJ
I
Brown
agree.
top
Spit,
10, even
spit,
though he
Buster.
didn't have a great it wasn't as great as last year.
Yeah,
but
can you
like
guys
in the
stop
first
spamming?
2 years, he had like 2,020 200 yards and like 190 targets. Like, and then this year, like when he played, he was phenomenal. Like,
Who?
I can't leave him outside of the top 10.
He's talking about
Who?
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown.
I don't
I
know,
just
man.
can't.
I think, but then you guys have guys like Mike Evans and Keenan Allen out of the top 10. That's wrong.
No, Keenan Allen.
I don't have
my
Mike
top 10
Evans.
receiver.
People
Keenan Allen is
killed me
becoming
for having Mike
vastly
Evans in my top
overrated.
10 last season.
Bro.
People killed me for it.
The Mike Evans has gotten way out of hand. He's a good
It's-
player. He's
I
probably
have
a top-
Mike-
He's the
I
only
have
receiver
Mike
ever to
Evans
do it
at
9 years in a
12 or
row.
13.
Yeah,
He's
Mike
the only
Evans is
wide
very good.
receiver ever to have 1,000 plus receiving
I
yards
mean,
9 years
this
in a
year
row.
he was very underrated. Like people
No, yeah,
underrated him.
He's a top 15 receiver for sure. But what does that not? No, what Max will say he's top 10. I don't think he's top 10. But
I think he's
I do wanna
10. I
talk
think if
about
you have him
Keenan
9,
Allen.
that's too
I
high.
wanna
I think
talk
if you have him
about
at
Keenan
11 or
Allen
12, it's
being,
too
like,
I think
low.
Godwin-
Godwin's. I think Godwin's better than Evans. Sadly,
I agree.
I don't agree with that at all.
I kind of
Incredible.
want to shift though. We talked about this for a whole hour.
We can
Let's
talk
kinda sh-
about
let's
Keenan
kinda
Allen
shift.
not being very good. He's good. I'm joking, but he's not a top 10 receiver in my opinion. I don't think he is. There's 10 receivers
Who?
that can easily take him.
RJ, tell me this though, and this is the last thing we'll talk about this topic because
Yeah.
obviously no one likes it. How is DJ Moore not on the same tier of a player as Terry McLaurin? Because if you have Terry McLaurin top 10, so should DJ Moore.
No, Terry's better at everything than DJ Moore.
DJ Moore's very
Everything.
talented and he produces at an
He's
elite
not-
level with
He's
worse
not as good as
quarterback
Terry.
play.
He's not as good as Terry. Like
Okay,
traits wise,
traits wise, he's not as good. I agree, but if
Then
the
that's
gap
all I
is
need.
not huge, DJ Moore has elite traits. He has elite traits and he produces at an elite level with
The
worse
gap-
quarterback play on a worse team.
The gap,
So how is he not top 10?
the gap is pretty big again between their traits, in my opinion. Like there's Terry
Again,
McLaurin
no,
has
but
the
that-
second best hands in the
So
league.
okay, I don't think this is a bad thing because it's your argument, but your argument is subjective. Then you can agree. Your entire argument is subjective.
All
Based on
arguments
what you
are
see.
subjective. All arguments are subjective.
Arguments that have a mixture of eye test, film, and stats can be less subjective than an argument that is 90% subjective.
What do you mean less subjective? Subjective is a
Yes.
yes or no. It's
No,
subjective
no,
or
no,
subjective.
no, it's not.
It's
No,
not
it's not.
slightly subjective.
No, it's not.
What subjective just means like it can be. It's your opinion. Like it's something that can be changed. Like it's not like it's slightly
Okay.
your opinion.
Your argument is more subjective by a significant margin than a normal argument would be.
No,
that's
all arguments are subjective. There's no like scale.
okay.
as
Whatever.
subjective.
Let's move on. We're not going to come to a conclusion on this.
Good conversation, boys.
I appreciate it.
What's next?
we got?
Round up. You want to talk about something else?
Yeah,
Talk about
let's.
the Niners game.
I want to figure out where Kirk Cousins is gonna go. What are we thinking? What are we thinking on Kirk?
I mean, like,
Browns,
what team
Browns
needs
legend.
a quarterback? Washington's out of the question. Let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah.
I have
Why would he
team
not
in
go back to
mind.
Washington though?
I mean, like,
I think
would
the
he
bridge
go
is
back?
kinda burned
They
there,
wouldn't
in
give
my
him a
opinion.
contract.
It was yeah.
It's one of those things like the bridge is kind of already burned. I don't see a reason why he himself would want to.
He
go
only
back to
stayed there
Washington.
because of Shanahan. It's true. Shanahan's the reason Kirk Cousins
Wait,
is
how
in
long?
the league.
Wait, like, Shannon left in 2016, right?
Yeah, it was a while
No,
back.
no, he left in like 2015,
15, right?
and in 2016 he was the OC for the Falcons, and 2017. he
Okay,
came to the
okay,
Niners.
there we go.
See, my thing though, I think there's a couple really good spots. Like one that everybody's talked about is the Broncos.
I'm saying Browns. I
I like Steelers.
No, I do not want him
I
on the
like
Steelers.
Steelers.
No,
Why?
Roundup,
I like it.
no.
It's a
I
cheaper
will never-
contract than Jimmy Garoppolo.
What?
It's a cheaper. Is it? It's like the
Yeah,
same
but
price
the
as Jimmy
thing
Garoppolo.
is-
It's around the same.
The thing
price,
is,
yeah.
though,
It should be
if I get
better.
Jimmy Garoppolo, I'm okay with it because if we draft Malik Willis,
Kirk
it's
is
fine.
way better than Jimmy G.
Yeah, and it's like the same price.
No, but that's not my point though. Like,
I think that the Steelers could be like AFC Championship contenders with Kirk Cousins.
uh,
No.
You guys underrate Kirk Cousins. Everyone
see-
does.
I can see them making the
listen,
divisional round
listen,
at least.
listen.
No, definitely
I
not
can see
AFC Championship though. They're not better
100%.
than
They'd
the
be a
Bills.
playoff. They would
So
be
that
a
means
playoff.
you're
I don't
implying that they're better
think,
than.
I don't
the
think they
Bills or
would be
Chiefs.
better than the Chiefs or the Bills. They wouldn't be better than.
I don't think they're better than the Bengals. I don't think they are.
They wouldn't be better than the Bengals either.
I think you get the Steelers, Kirk Cousins, they might be better than the Bengals just because of
Fine,
defense alone.
that's a comparable team. But they're not on the level of Chiefs or Bills
Like,
No.
but like, the thing is, I want Jimmy G, and then I want us to draft Malik Willis because Jimmy G has some of the best mechanics in the league.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mind taking on his contract for 1 year. I would not mind that.
People are saying Jimmy G is better than Kirk Cousins. Jesus.
Jimmy G is
a
not
bad
better
take.
than Kirk
That's a horrible
Cousins.
take.
Yeah, that's so bad.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
but like I was trying to say, Kirk Cousins maybe a sleeper team. The Saints. He's
No,
better than
Jameis Winston is staying on the Saints. There's like
I
no.
know, but like if they can get Kirk Cousins, like I would take him over.
Well, and the Saints love former Viking players. They've been known to sign former Vikings.
You know
Bro,
why they
Kirk
like
is-
former Viking players? Because they can't beat the Vikings.
That's true.
Missed the playoffs. Bro, that's such a bad argument. Like the Vikings defense was
that guy,
like
dude.
so
The
bad
Saints,
this year.
I used to. The Saints fans have made a bridge that has been burnt with me that will never be restored because they like to do the hypothetical. Well, what if this call was made? Yada yada yada. Da, 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 all these excuses. So
Where do we think Derek Carr goes?
I think
he
Derek
is.
Carr stays in Las Vegas.
I think
don't
he
know.
stays.
I
I
think
think
he's
he
like
stays
Dame.
at this point.
He's like Dame. He's too loyal. to the city,
But
or
if
state.
the general manager realizes that they're not going to go anywhere with Derek Carr, I would try to get some value out
The
of him.
general manager
He's still
got
in his
fired.
prime. What's
Yeah.
up?
The general manager got fired, so it don't matter.
I mean,
Yeah,
aren't
the
they
new
getting-
GM could still trade him.
Didn't they already have a new GM?
Like Mike Mayock just got fired. They don't have a GM right now.
I didn't
Oh,
even see
well,
Mike Mayock got fired.
Yeah,
well,
he got
I'm saying
fired.
the new once they get a new GM, I'm saying like if he realizes that you can't win with Derek Carr or like get into a deep playoff run, why not trade him, get some value out of him when he's in his prime? Like
I just don't see it happening. I don't see a team. I just don't see a team to be a match. Honestly, that has an open quarterback room. I just don't see a team to be a match.
I mean, I've always said I wanted Derek Carr on the Steelers because Matt Cannon runs the West Coast offense.
I just don't think I can
and
see that.
The Raiders run a West Coast offense, and he will have better weapons than he does on the Raiders.
Jimmy G. Okay, so I'm reading these comments. Jimmy Garoppolo is not proven in the playoffs. Every single one of his playoff games have been absolute terrible games. Except
I mean, didn't he
Packers
throw like
game.
25 passes before the Super Bowl?
Yeah,
Like,
he had 25 total passes combined in the Packers.
he had like
Packers and
6
Vikings
against
game.
the.
He was carried by Raheem Mostert, bro.
He had 7. He was carried by Shanahan, but yes,
Okay, like come on, Raheem Mostert was a dog. Like
Shanahan was a dog.
You like Shanahan? We know
He's my favorite person in the NFL more than any player. He's my guy.
Well, your guy likes to choke in Super Bowls.
No, he doesn't. The players like to
No.
choke in Super Bowls.
It don't matter. He'll
The
never.
okay, no, the Falcons
never
game
let
was
that
on
down.
him. The Falcons game was on him, but he wasn't on my favorite team when that happened. So
I mean,
I'm not
I don't really
concerned.
blame Shanahan because like they got 2 holding penalties. They were in
Yeah.
field goal range, and they should have went up by 11, and there was like 3 minutes left in the game, and
Yeah. I'm part of like a rare Shanahan fan group. Like, there's like we're called the
I mean-
Only Shans.
I mean,
Like,
I know he's a good coach,
yeah.
but like I don't like the guy. I just think he's arrogant. That's just me.
No, he is. He's definitely a little cocky and he's stubborn. But sometimes being stubborn is good. So
Sometimes it is.
yeah. Boys, should Washington football draft
They
draft
need a
or
QB.
trade for a
They
quarterback?
easily need a QB.
They
Like,
need to. I think this is draft.
We'll just pull it up. What are we thinking? Trubisky?
No, I'm thinking they draft Matt Corral. Yeah, there we go. I'm thinking
I
they
think
draft
they're
Matt
gonna draft
Corral.
Matt
I think
Corral.
that's the best fit.
Yeah.
Or yeah, they may take Sam Howell. I don't know.
I like Sam Howell.
I do not like
I
Sam Howell.
don't. I hate
I
Sam Howell.
love Sam
Dr.
Howell. I'm a
Maximus.
He
Miami
reminds
guy.
me of
I've
a more
watched-
athletic Baker Mayfield.
I've
Like,
watched a lot of Sam Howell, and he's a pretty talented dude. But I get it. I get the Baker.
AG's right, guys. AG's right, guys.
Talk Lance.
talk Trey.
No,
But-
don't spam though, AG.
I think
thing
I
is-
think we were talking about the Steelers. The Steelers. What I think should happen, in my opinion, I think Kenny Pickett should be a Steeler. That's
Oh,
I
hate
love
Kenny
it.
Pickett.
I love it. Kenny Pickett. He's a Pittsburgh guy. He's already played in Pittsburgh. He just has to change his locker over because that's where they play their college football at. And I think he'll fit in real good with the
Listen.
culture.
I
Sorry,
don't.
this
I don't.
take sucks.
I
I'm
shouldn't
just-
say. I
no,
shouldn't
that
say.
sucks.
I shouldn't say that I hate Kenny Pickett. My problem is, what is his ceiling? Like a worse
Yeah, that's
Joe
true.
Burrow?
Like, what is his ceiling?
Like a worse Joe Burrow? Like,
So it's Ryan Tannehill or Matt Ryan.
I mean, Matt Ryan was an MVP, but like, yeah.
But
No,
I mean,
the floor is not better.
Kenny Pickett would be
No.
able to throw the ball deep. Like that's the thing the Steelers miss. They can't really throw the ball deep.
Freaking.
Thoughts on Deshaun
I'm
Watson?
so
leading
pissed
the
that Big
Giants?
Ben got that elbow surgery.
happening.
Like, oh my god.
I like these questions though that we can answer. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's talk about
Thoughts on the
this. This is a very bad take. Matt
Okay.
LaFleur
The
isn't
thing
even
is
better than
about-
Shanahan.
Okay, the thing about Matt LaFleur is I think he's very underrated. I don't see people putting him in the top 10 because he's like, oh, he has Aaron Rodgers, and like he's not proven. I mean, like people don't realize this. Like before, like Matt LaFleur went to Green Bay, like Aaron Rodgers was really mid, like from a statistical standpoint.
This is true, by the way. This is
And
true.
like, oh come on,
he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I know he's not wrong. I know he's not wrong. But like, I just feel like Matt LaFleur is just severely underrated because they like his offense like benefits Rodgers so much.
He's
like,
not better than Shanahan, though. He's not.
He's not better than Shanahan. I have him at 6.
Shanna can't win a Super Bowl. Oh no, that I've never heard of that. That's funny though. That's funny.
No, but like I have Matt LaFleur over Mike Tomlin. Sadly, like I like Mike Tomlin, but like
what about this? Do we think Watson plays?
No.
Yeah. Oh, he for sure plays.
Yep.
He for
so?
sure
I
plays.
think so.
I think there's no way he doesn't play unless somehow the legal system actually takes a W for once and puts the man in jail.
They won't. They won't.
I mean,
and that's the thing. They
this is
won't,
the
so
most
he's going to play.
Assault cases by a player ever. Like
it's still he's going to play, bro.
no,
where's he going to play at though? That's the thing. What team?
Okay.
Is going to...
Can I take a comment?
Go for it.
Can
you click
how do
it?
I take it?
Oh, I don't think you're logged into the account. Just switch comment.
Chaos said, "Wow, Tomlin is top 3." Okay.
It's awful.
People overrate Mike Tomlin because of the winning record. Easily. Like, listen, he's a good guy and he's a good player coach. He motivates his players, obviously.
He is not a defensive mastermind by any means.
He's a good defensive coach. He's a good defensive coach.
Yes.
But is he really a better defensive coach than Sean McDermott? I don't think so. No. Like, I think Mike Tomlin is 8 or 7. I think that's a perfect place for him. Interchangeable with Sean McDermott. Like, I just don't agree. I just don't think that Mike Tomlin's like.
This is a W. This is a W.
Rookie Saquon's better.
Rookie Saquon is better than any season Christian McCaffrey's had. I don't care. Sorry, that's just the inner Saquon lover in me. But Shanahan is. I don't like these Shanahan slanders. Where'd I rank Sean Payton? Top 4. He's like
Sean Payton's probably a top.
I think Sean
top 10 coach all time.
Is that a bad take?
What'd you say?
I think he's interchangeable with Shanahan.
He's lower than Shanahan.
There's 3 coaches that are interchangeable for me, and it's McVay, Shanahan, and Payton. Those coaches you can put in any order.
I think McVay is the worst. That's just.
I got a question though. I got a question. Where do y'all rank Vrabel in this conversation?
Like 9 or 10.
Yeah, he's
If
pretty good.
I don't know.
See, I think Vrabel's a top 5 coach.
He's not a top 5 coach. No, he's just a motivator guy. He's not a guy. He's not going to write up the plays for offense or defense. He's just a pure motivator.
How many times has the Titans
I will never have.
How many times
I'll
has
never
the
have a
Titans been
motivator
written
guy
off
that high.
and they've proven people wrong?
I just want to say their schedule was a little bit Mickey Mouse. Their schedule
was Mickey Mouse. I'll give you that. But listen, like, there's good things that you have to like about Vrabel. Like, one of the things, he is 8-0 when he has more than 8 days rest. Like, in the NFL, a lot of people struggle coming off of bye weeks, getting their team lethargic and stuff like that. I think Mike Vrabel is very underappreciated as a coach.
I mean,
because he's just a really big hype.
With that roster, with all those injuries in that roster, they still got the number 1 seed.
Brian,
beat Buffalo and beat Kansas City.
Yes.
I have Vrabel interchangeable with Harbaugh. I think Harbaugh's severely overrated. That's just me.
Yes.
Because in my opinion, I think his offense just like benefits way too much from Lamar Jackson. He was bound to get fired in 2018 before he got Lamar Jackson. Like,
yeah. Greg Roman's also dog shit.
Greg Roman's horrible.
This might be true. This might be true. Trent Williams is like really good, but so is David Bakhtiari. But
I'm taking Trent Williams.
Trent Williams top 3. No, he's not.
Okay, you keep overrating LaFleur Chaos. You said he's better than Shanahan. No.
Okay.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this.
Mike Vrabel. That's all I need.
So,
in
my opinion, coach of the year will be either Mike Vrabel, Matt LaFleur, or like I want to give it to Shanahan, but he won't get it. But like,
what about Zach Taylor? Zach Taylor this year had a good
I
year.
don't-
It's Joe Burrow and Jamar. It's not. It's
I
not.
really don't think it's Zach
This
Taylor.
comment. I'm sorry. This is the comment. Sorry, I had to.
I'm just saying, coach of the year, based off all the betting odds, the overwhelming favorite is Zach Taylor.
Yeah,
It's looking like it's going to be Zach Taylor.
You know,
I just think he's
Andy
a
Reid
mid-
is honestly a shout.
In my
as well.
opinion, I think Zach Taylor is like a mid coach. Like he's very average. Like
I think Andy Reid is a good shout though, because his team looked like one of the worst defenses in NFL history, and they changed that defense in a matter of a week.
got to give credit to Steve Spagnuolo though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
He's the one that masterminds that defense.
Look at this clown.
And Mooney over Ayuk. Darnell Mooney's like one of the most overrated players in my opinion.
Who's been the best safety this year? Probably Derwin James, right?
Derwin
Yeah.
James easily.
It's Derwin James and then everybody else.
And then then it's a close second with Kevin Byard. Kevin Byard's
yeah.
been
Dude, that
amazing.
Derwin James, man, is a beast. Like,
Yeah.
gosh,
He's going to be one of the best safeties of all
I
time.
hated him because he went to Florida State, obviously, but
I hate him because he owned the Steelers in 2018.
Justin Simmons played really well this year too.
Dub? Maybe.
No. Mm-mm.
This is an easy question. It's not even. Come on.
I mean, J.J. Watt, though.
I mean, you do take Aaron Donald now, but like if
2014 J.J.
All time,
Watt.
JJ Watt's going to be one of those what if players, man, because if he didn't struggle with injuries his whole career, he would have been the greatest defensive player of all time, and I don't think it would have been close.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I
This
mean-
is very true. Both of them are top 10 safeties. So
Jordan Poyer is a top 10 safety,
both of them.
and so is
Poyer
Mike
is, I
Hyde.
don't know about
No
Mike.
who else is a top 10 safety? That
Ugh.
motherfucker Jimmy Ward. He
Maybe
is-
towards the bottom of the top 10, man.
I think
No, he's
Javon
like
Holland's
8.
better, in my opinion.
You're annoying. Yes. I think the Jets are going to be pretty solid next year.
Okay, I don't think they're going to have like a great season or a good season. I think they're going to be like average team, like 7-10.
All I know is Zach Wilson's going to break out next year. I'm telling you, he's so good.
Bro,
He's
I'm
so
not high on Zach Wilson.
Why? He's so good at like
Yeah, but like
everything.
yeah, but the problem is I can't look at like the last 5 games of the season and just see if he can do that for like
That's
you
fair.
know.
That's fair.
That's
This
like
is an
Trevor
interesting
Lawrence. Like
one.
Trevor Lawrence was really, really good his last game. Like
dude, Diggs got
That's just one
exposed
game.
his last game.
Trayvon Diggs is not a top 10 corner.
He's not. I don't care what the picks say. Picks are very random. Like obviously, a large part of it is because of how good Trayvon Diggs is.
Hey,
but
when
Well,
y'all
let me ask you this then: do you think Marshawn Lattimore's a top 10 corner?
yes.
Then you think Trevon Diggs is a top 10 corner?
no?
Why?
They're the
Marshawn
same.
Latt-
They're the same corner.
No.
To me, they're almost the same corner.
Marshawn Lattimore, like against average receivers, is
but
like
like-
a B+, B- corner. Trayvon Diggs is like
It's like
against
a C
any good
minus.
receiver is like a C or a D. Like
I don't know.
he
if I agree
really
with
is.
that.
Yeah.
What about your number 7 receiver, Terry McLaurin?
He
Both
did lock
games
down-
against him,
no,
he
Marshawn-
did terrible
no,
against Trevon
Marshawn.
Diggs.
Marshawn did better against Trayvon Diggs than McLaurin did. McLaurin also got hurt at half. He got a concussion or something. So the one of those doesn't count. And then the other one, McLaurin was consistently beating him on routes. I actually watched that game like on the All-22, but Terry McLaurin was consistently beating Diggs. He just wasn't getting the ball.
Yeah, but like you also have to like look at like Marshawn Lattimore's stats and like there was like one game that like it was so bad communications from the Saints. It was like really bad. Like
yeah.
Best tight end of all time. Okay, there's only 2 answers, and I don't care. It's either Gronk or Tony Gonzalez. Travis Kelce does not have an argument.
No,
Travis
no.
Kelce, like,
Were you there when that one guy was talking about Tony Gonzalez being the best?
oh my
ever?
god,
That was
dude, I don't want to call him out, but Tailgate Podcast, he got mad at me because he said that Tony Gonzalez was the Frank Gore of tight ends, and I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
Can I pick a comment?
Go for it.
Yeah.
How do you pick one?
I don't think you're on the account, so I'll just pick it for you. But which one?
Okay. Well, I do like this question. Most underrated player in the NFL right now. That's a good question, but that wasn't my.
The most
I wanna-
underrated player, James Washington.
I want to talk about this question right here because I've seen it a lot.
Which one?
Harbaugh to the Raiders, talking about Jim, because I'm a college guy as well. I would
Okay,
like to talk
listen.
about that.
Listen, Jim Harbaugh would get a coaching NFL head coaching job in a second because he was really good with the Niners. Like probably not better than Shanahan.
he has
This
a
is Night
higher
Kid. This
winning
is Night Kid. This is
percentage.
Night Kid.
He has a higher winning percentage than Bill Belichick as an NFL head coach.
Dude, he had like 19 losses in 4 seasons, and he has more wins than Shannon. I know wins is not
he
a
did
good
that with
stat, but,
Kaepernick and Alex Smith too. You have to credit. Obviously, Alex Smith very resilient and stuff like that. People were calling him a bust, and credit to him, he ended up having a pretty decent career. But Harbaugh kind of rejuvenalized that career for Alex.
Yeah,
Smith.
and also San Francisco was dead in the water without Jim Harbaugh, and then when he left, they were in
dead in the water.
Dead in the water again.
Yeah.
And then they got Shanahan, who's an amazing coach.
In my opinion, the answer to this question is Harbaugh to the Raiders a good move. This is, to me, if Harbaugh goes to the Raiders, this is what Raiders fans thought what Gruden was going to be. Because I thought John Gruden was a terrible hire, and I thought he was overrated. I think Harbaugh to the Raiders, good fit. He'd be a great fit with Derek Carr, and I think that team, because that team obviously needs to go to a new direction. They still have this cloud over their organization, and I think it would just be a good fit, honestly.
Okay.
What do we think on a comeback player of the year? Who's everyone's pick?
Okay, so
Joe Burrow's mine.
Okay, listen.
I want to talk about. Okay, you can first if you want.
Okay, so if it was not quarterback friendly, it's easily Nick Bosa. I don't care. I know Joe Burrow.
He had the best season.
I know Joe Burrow was amazing. He was great. But some of his stat, he's only gonna win it because of the last 3 weeks. I know he was good before that, but it's heavily inflated on the last 3 weeks.
And Nick Bosa had the better season. If Nick Bosa had his season translated to a quarterback season, he's an MVP.
I don't think that Joe Burrow is going to win it. I still think they'll give it to Dak.
Yeah, Dak Dak is the betting favorite right now.
Well, yeah. Look, I think there's a reason for it, though, is because when you think of comeback player of the year, you don't think of a rookie who played half his season and then missed the second half of the season. You're thinking of someone that legitimately missed an entire season, that had already played before. You've seen him play in the NFL before. So I think that's why he has the higher betting odds, because we saw him play. He missed a season, then he came back. Joe Burrow, we didn't really get to see much of him. It's not like he had another NFL season before he got his injury.
What we did see was his legs snapped. Bent back.
Yeah.
Not as bad as that.
And I don't think we should rank comeback player of the year on the severity of the injury, because that has never happened except it was Alex Smith last year, and you kind of have to give it to him. But I feel with stuff like this, all these injuries were ACL. You kind of should just give it to the player that had the best season.
If we're being realistic, comeback player of the year would have been Ben Roethlisberger. I'm not just saying that as a Steelers fan.
He played better, but he didn't have
play better.
the injury story.
Ben Roethlisberger last year was so average. He was so average.
You want to know something funny about the betting odds for comeback player of the year? Number 1 is Dak Prescott. Number 2 is Joe Burrow. But guess who number 3 is? It's not Nick Bosa.
Who is it?
It's Jameis Winston.
Nah, it's a fucking joke, bro.
It's Jameis Winston.
Let's go.
That actually annoys me, bro. That annoys me so much.
That just shows
And
that most of these awards
fifth is Kelvin Benjamin. He didn't even play.
Where's Nick Bosa? 4th, right?
Nick Bosa was 4th. Yeah, 4th.
That's a joke.
Why is Kelvin Benjamin on the thing?
And then you got James Conner, which actually makes a little bit of sense.
James Conner makes sense. James Conner does make sense.
Somehow Devin Bush is on that list too.
Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert? Justin Herbert, easily.
Wait, where do you have Diggs, Max? Where do you have Diggs?
Wait, Cheesy, you have Burrow?
Diggs my wide receiver 7.
Wow.
The reason why
Wait, do you have Jamar over Diggs?
Yeah. Jamar's at 5.
Wait. I want to hear. Wait, hold on. I want to hear Cheesy's point. He is Burrow.
Joe Burrow, to me, obviously Herbert's got an incredible arm and all this stuff, but Joe Burrow
said he's better than Herbert.
But I didn't say better. I said I'd rather have Joe Burrow than Herbert. Joe Burrow just has that it factor, and he just wins games. He doesn't underperform in big games. He always shows up. He's got the same energy. And he single-handedly, because you said you're not giving much credit to Taylor, him and Jamar Chase then led the Bengals to a playoff win. They haven't won a playoff game in 30 years. Whereas the Chargers, granted Staley has cost the Chargers a lot of games, but there's been times where a little bit inconsistency with Herbert, and Burrow's just been kind of the same Joe, no pun intended, the whole time. And so I'm a big Joe Burrow guy though, because he won me over in college, and he just something about that swagger, that it factor that he carries on the field. He might not be as talented, but it kind of reminds me of Tom Brady in a way. He has that chip on his shoulder. He's always going to perform. He's going to be he lives for these big moments. And so I personally would take Joe Burrow over Justin Herbert, but I think from a talent-wise, yes, Justin Herbert's got the better arm and everything.
That's fine. Hold on,
That's
I
the
want
thing, though.
Okay,
What's
go
up?
No, go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say talent-wise and production-wise, I feel like both just go to Justin Herbert. So I just really don't see an argument for Joe Burrow
I think
over
Burrow
Justin
had the
Herbert.
better year this year, though.
Hey, the guy said, RJ, show this comment if you appreciate cheesy.
He said that?
Yeah,
Oh shit. There we go. I appreciate you, man.
thank you.
Wait a minute. Someone said Jamar Chase over Diggs easily.
That's what Max. I wanted to talk about that. Max, why is Jamar Chase better than Stephon Diggs?
He's better in multiple traits. He produces better.
He's not better. Okay. All right. I disagree heavily.
Cooper Kupp is easily better than Stephon Diggs.
What? No, come on, dude.
Yeah.
No. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
No.
So bad.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't want to fight, but where do you have Justin Jefferson then? 2, right?
Yeah.
All right. Why do you think Kupp is better than Diggs though?
He's the only thing Diggs is better than Cooper Kupp is his route running. Everything else, Cooper Kupp's better, and he has 700 more yards and 6 more touchdowns. 700 yards and 6 touchdowns is legit another whole player in the NFL. So it's not even fucking close.
Player, but no, yeah, it's definitely.
Stephon Diggs was only elite when he joined Josh Allen. Josh Allen made Stephon Diggs an elite player, not the other way around.
He was really good in 2019.
Okay.
But he was not an elite player.
I mean,
Cooper Kupp's seasons with Jared Goff are better than Stephon Diggs' seasons with Kirk
Diggs
Cousins.
had like 1,500 yards last year, but all right.
1,500 yards. 1,500 yards last year. His first year with Josh Allen was great, and they had 1,200 this year. He regressed heavily.
12. He did not regress. It's just the Josh Allen
going from 1,500 yards and like 8 touchdowns with your quarterback, and then the second year to play with them, you'd expect like the same production, if not more, because have more chemistry.
But again, Josh Allen also spread the ball out more than.
you're not going to repeat like your peak year. Like,
yeah.
But why would that be his peak year? Why can't he go for 1,600 or 1,700 yards and 15 touchdowns? Why?
I mean,
capable of it.
1,500
It's
is
just-
a lot. Like,
Yeah,
It's
1,600.
a lot. It's great. It's a lot of yards. You know, it's a lot of yards too. 1,900.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, when you're slop boy, I guess.
That is what I was gonna say. When it's slop, it's a little easier.
I mean, I don't know. I think Stephon Diggs is a better route runner. Cooper Kupp is bigger, stronger, faster. He's better after the catch. He has better hands. He's a better red zone threat.
No,
And in every other way of grading a receiver,
He's a better red zone threat. But
better
This
hands.
guy wants to know about
he does have better hands. Cooper Kupp has some of the best hands in the entire NFL.
I
Stephon Diggs
disagree.
is, all right. I mean, that's fine. I don't.
I
I'm
think
sure I'm going to tell you again. Like I've told you guys this 100 times. Like it's a big deal that Stephon Diggs has dropped as many passes as he has this year. And he dropped 5 touchdowns. That's bad. That's
how much
not
you want
good.
to bet he drops less than that next year?
I don't. What's
Because drops are random. Drops are very random.
okay? Who makes more difficult catches, Stephon Diggs or Cooper Kupp?
Stephon Diggs. Stephon
Easily.
Diggs, like easily. Like
I disagree.
It's not close.
I disagree.
All right, man. All right.
This dude's asking me thoughts on Mario Cristobal. He knows I'm a Miami fan. Let's go. It's all about the U, baby.
Top 3 college wideouts, Cheesy. He wants to hear it.
Oh, top 3 coming out of this year's class or still in
Yeah.
college?
I'm assuming just this year's draft.
Dude, Jameson Williams before the ACL was incredible. John Mechie, the third, was incredible.
Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, like, dude,
Chris Olave's ass.
Agreed.
I'll be honest with you, freaking
Too
Jackson
far, too
Smith
far.
and Jigba was the best Ohio State receiver all year.
Oh yeah, he was really good.
So,
I don't care what anyone says. I think Jameis Williams is still number 1. Even like
yeah, Jameson Williams is incredible, man. He stud.
And also like I don't think his ACL will be like. How old is he? Like 20? Like
Yeah, he's young.
Yeah, I mean he'll
Very
be
young.
fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think I'm more concerned about him getting hurt again in the future than I am of him not being as good as he was now.
Yeah,
For sure.
Knee injuries don't just go away. That's not. And even if knee injuries are luck, if you hurt your knee and you tear your ACL at a young age, you're gonna
No,
re-injure.
that's, if your knee's getting hurt over and over again, you're injury prone. It's the same injury. It's the same
But
injury.
there's never been there's I can't think of a single player in the history of the past 10 years in the NFL that has torn his ACL or hurt a significant part of their body in a way that takes you out for the whole season and they don't get hurt again.
Tom Brady.
In
Big Ben.
Okay. Quarterbacks are not the same.
Adrian Peterson.
Okay, it happened last year. I would bet, and I would bet. Okay, Adrian Peterson is the exception. Quarterbacks don't count, and Nick Bosa is going to get hurt again. So that's.
How do you know that though?
That's kind of hard to project.
I can bet.
He's kind of right though. Most people that get an injury like that get hurt again.
He hasn't hurt his knee again.
The majority of them do get hurt again, especially ones that use
modern medicine has absolutely made it so when you hurt your ACL, you can pretty much come back with the exact same ACL.
I mean, look at Jordy Nelson. He tore his ACL and he's still like a top 5 wide receiver. Like,
yeah,
I can't attest to that.
Todd Gurley that was arthritis. That wasn't even an ACL.
His like arthritis. Like,
I can hit y'all with this in less than 2 minutes. Thoughts on the Cristobal hire? So yes, Mario Cristobal coming to the U. One of my favorite hires of the whole coaching carousel because obviously a Miami fan. He's a proven coach. He's got 2 Pac-12 championships. Now one of them's kind of Mickey Mouse because of a pandemic. I get it. And a lot of people like to criticize him because of how he didn't utilize Justin Herbert. I get it. But the guy has learned under Nick Saban. He's a talented recruiter. He's one of the best recruiters in all of the country. He was an associate head coach under Nick Saban. He's learned under Nick Saban. A lot of guys respect him. He's going to bring like a discipline to this Miami team that they haven't had in a very long time. And he's going to be able to get marquee recruits that Miami hasn't been able to keep in Miami for a very long time because guys like Jerry Jeudy, Dalvin Cook, all these boys left the Miami area. They're all Miami boys.
Yes, he is. Sorry, this guy was spamming.
No, you're good. They're all Miami boys, but they all left. You're seeing a lot of these people, especially if he lands Shamar Stewart, this recruiting, like I think February, something like that is the last national signing day, whatever. If he gets Shamar Stewart and he will end up ultimately having like a top 15 class, entering a situation that was absolutely terrible being left by Manny Diaz and stuff like that, and coming in with no offensive coordinator and defense coordinator leading into a top 15 recruiting class. I'm excited for it. However, I know that I have a little bit of concerns the quarterback position because we have a really good quarterback. I hope he utilizes Van Dyke well. But I'm excited for it because the thing I want to know, like I have always wanted to know, is when we play like against the Clemsons and like all these other teams, we never showed up. It looked like we were never prepared. Like if we're prepared and say we lose a nail biter to Clemson or we play Texas A&M this year and we lose that game, but it looks like we were prepared, we were competitive, and then something at the end, you just see that A&M was a little bit more talented or Clemson was a little bit better. I can live with that. But for me, like under Manny Diaz in the big games, like he would just get blown out and looked like no one was prepared. So I'm excited for it. College football has my heart. Miami has my heart. It was a good hire.
Yeah. Cool. All right. What about OBJ? He's very good.
Okay.
Super duper good.
OBJ is a top 20 receiver. You can't convince me otherwise.
Yes.
It's wrong.
Yes. Why?
I can tell you 20 better right now. You want to know?
Go.
All right. Get my list up.
Odell's peak was better than Tay. This is true.
I don't know.
I don't agree with that.
It's
2014 Odell, he had like almost the same production in 11 games.
In
like,
11 games.
Better.
It's ridiculous. You're taking OBJ over Cup. You're a very smart man. I'm joking. What else? What else should we pin? We're waiting for him to pull that up.
Amari Cooper, top 15.
What do you think of Brock Bowers?
Brock Bowers is a great tight end for Georgia.
He's the next Kittle, in my opinion.
Yeah, like he was a true freshman. He was one of the best.
It's bold, but it's true.
If not the best receiver for Georgia, and he was a tight end. Dude's got a bright future. He did that with Stetson Bennett. I think he's going to be a very good tight end in the NFL. And he's got 2 more years of college football. So it's very interesting because they use him more than they do Darnell Washington, which is like a freak. But at the end of the day, he is a beast. I don't know who Russell Maryland is. I know that Miami did land Jaleel Skinner, so I don't know if we'll take another tight end this recruiting class.
Max, he's asking this question. I don't know if you want to answer it. He's been asking, so I'm just pinning it.
I think like peak Saquon his rookie year was probably like one of the best running backs ever. Like it was not the best situation either, but I don't think it's like a huge drop off from peak Christian McCaffrey and peak Saquon. I think like Saquon's probably better by like a little margin, but I also don't really give a fuck because Saquon's career has been a complete failure. He's been one of the worst like top 5 draft picks ever, so it doesn't really matter.
Ever?
Yeah, there's been worse.
Ever? There's definitely a lot more.
Taking a running back in the first round is bad, but taking a guy at 2 when you have Quentin Nelson on the board and you need offensive linemen that have screwed your team for the next 5 years,
I mean,
and he doesn't play ever, and he's not good. He's horrible now. It's a really bad pick.
I mean, Carter played like 12 games, and he was the number 1 overall pick as a running back.
Yeah, but he wasn't saying it was the worst ever. But like period, point blank, it was a terrible pick, and it is going to go down as one of the worst ever.
I disagree.
Yeah. Especially like you see.
I think you guys love Saquon. That's why
they haven't been good
since.
No.
Like the thing is, though, at least Saquon like shown himself as an elite running back. Most guys haven't. Like,
yeah, a lot of number 2.
It doesn't matter if you have that 1 year though. Like
yes,
you have to just be healthy.
Ryan Leaf was way worse than Saquon.
It doesn't matter though. If you
that's
draft
completely different though. A running back is the least position. No, it is. The running back position is the least important position on the football field.
But they got more value out of Saquon than Ryan Leaf ever did. Like
that's not a good example though.
It is a good example.
So
you know how much talent is on the board at 2 than Ryan Leaf. Yeah, but he's still one of the biggest busts ever.
There's probably a lot of top 5 picks.
This guy's saying Zeke was picked at 4. Like, yes, Zeke was picked at 4, and Zeke was a phenomenal back for 5 years. That was an okay pick. This is a good pick.
It was a better pick than Saquon.
I don't know about being.
It wasn't a bad pick at all. It was a great pick picking Zeke there. He actually panned out.
I think Adrian Peterson was top 10 pick. I don't know about top 5, but pretty sure he was top 10.
Actually, is Amari Cooper top 15? I saw a TikTok. You said he ain't 20. Which
I don't think he's top 15.
He is top 15, in my opinion.
I think he's just out of the top 15. I'd probably put him top 20.
He's like the second best release in all of football.
So. Yeah, one elite trait doesn't make you better than everybody else.
He has great hands. He's smart. He's a good player.
I'd say he's a
route runner in the league.
Yeah, he has elite routing and elite release, and that's really all I see that he's an elite player at. He's not fast. He's not very big. He's not very fast. He's not very explosive to the catch. He's not a great red zone threat.
Yeah, like I'm taking Adam Thielen over
He's the second best receiver on his team.
He's a pretty good red zone threat.
I think Amari Cooper and Adam Thielen are on the same playing field. 20 better receivers don't really Justin says.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Devontae Adams, Justin. Okay, Adams, Jefferson, Hill, Hopkins, Chase, Kupp, Diggs, Allen, Lamb, Deontay Johnson, Mike Evans, AJ Brown, Debo Samuel, Jalen Waddle, Terry McLaurin. That's 15. Okay, that's 15. Now, Adam Thielen, Amari Cooper, Chris Godwin, Brandon Cooks, DJ Moore.
I
think so. So
yeah, I would
really
take
matter
Brandon
what you
Cooks
think.
too, honestly.
Brandon Cooks went.
I'd take those guys, and there's probably more that I could look more into. Tyler Lockett, I'd also take him. If you want to take away Brandon Cooks, Tyler Lockett's better. So that's
Brandon
20.
Cooks has had
Take
a
away
very
Brandon Cooks.
underrated career because he gets dished every year, and he goes and have 1,000 yards like almost every year, and he gets dished. He's very underrated. I like that.
No, I wouldn't say Cooks, Thielen. I wouldn't say. I don't know if I'd say any of those.
You
guys.
wouldn't say Thielen
either.
No,
what?
I would take Odell.
Yeah, I just think you're biased. I don't know why. I don't know why you're biased towards the Giants players. So I don't get it.
Giants are my second favorite team because I like all their players. So maybe that's why. But
Adam Thielen clears OBJ right now. Clears him.
I disagree.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't say T.
He's a better red zone. T. Higgins too. That's another one. T.
Thielens a better route runner too.
Then Odell?
No.
Oh yeah, way better route runner. Way better route runner.
He is.
No,
yeah, it's not even close.
No, he's not.
Adam Thielen is the best red zone router in the NFL.
What does that even mean?
Red zone,
it's not like he does. It's not like he gets better at route running in the red zone. He's the same route runner. He
But
just
even all of his routes, period, are amazing. Look
he's
at an Adam Thielen route breakdown. That man has crisp routes.
No, yeah, but sometimes like he will kind of sell which route he's doing. Like he'll flash his hands up, and it'll kind of give away what kind of route he's running. Odell's like one of the most clean, absolute perfect routes I've ever seen. Not to go along with like when he has peak hands, his hands are probably the best in the league.
No, I can't take him
D-Hop. Fine, but he's in that conversation.
No, he's in that conversation. But I'm
to
just
go
saying,
with elite after the catchability.
Odell still has like some drop issues. They're not bad, but like
they're concentration drops. But
yeah.
Most hated team is the Rams, easily. I fucking hate
my most hated team. It was the Bengals, but now it's the Browns because I like Joe Burrow. Sadly,
yeah.
I don't really have a most hated team.
This is a W.
Hold on. This Chaos Kid just said Jair owns Thielen. That is so false. Every time Thielen's played against Jair Alexander, he's destroyed Jair. Every time. Look at the tape. Every time he destroys him.
He has gotten worse. I don't want people using the Justin Fields example.
So, Ryan, though, my thing with Ryan, you like those top 15 guys I told you, receivers.
Yeah.
None of those guys are better.
That's fine.
And then you have DJ Moore, DJ Moore, Chris Godwin, T. Higgins. Okay.
I think Odell's better.
What? I don't. That's bad.
T. Higgins is really just a jump ball guy. I mean, he can catch intermediate stuff occasionally on like a crosser, but like Odell offers so much more. He's an elite route runner. He has
What?
elite hands at his peak. If they can go back.
Odell does not offer more than T. Higgins does.
Yeah, he does. He definitely does.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
I don't understand how you grade players. It makes no sense to me.
That's on you then. I mean,
Real question is, what you
T.
eating
Higgins is
over
a good
there,
route
Matt?
runner. T. Higgins is not a good route runner. So
It doesn't have to be.
okay, but then he offers less if he's just a jump ball guy. How do you not understand that?
Kenny
The
Galladay
only
is a
thing that
horrible route
the only thing that T. Higgins does worse than OBJ is route running. Everything else he's better than.
He's not better after the catch. Odell is one of the best players after the catch.
Okay, after the catch and route running. That's it. Every other trait
and
goes to T. Higgins.
separation and
And
separation.
Nope.
separation. Any
Yes.
sort of
Nope.
separation.
Yes.
Separation is subjective. You guys know this. It's not hard to understand.
Yeah,
All
but, like,
things are subjective.
subjectively
All things.
OBJ.
Everything is subjective, Max. It's not. I could say Odell is a
Okay,
better
whatever,
jump baller
sure.
than
Okay, sure. You can have it. OBJ is better than T. Higgins, sure.
Cool. All right.
top 15 running. That's kind of hard.
Because you got a lot of mid.
How about this? Yes, no.
No.
Allen,
No,
right?
it's Josh Allen. Josh Allen's number
It's
3.
easily Allen.
Yeah. Thoughts?
No.
No,
That is
no,
horrible.
no.
I
That's
disagree.
such a bad take, AG.
You disagree? You think that's true?
No, I'm
Ryan?
disagreeing with what he said.
Whew.
That's about to lose it.
Is Tony Pollard a top 8 running back with a starting job? Yes, he is. He is.
But we can't know
I think
that till he
Tony
has a starting
Pollard. I
job.
think you can make the
That's
argument
not
that the
the question.
Cowboys have to
All right.
get or could use Tony Pollard
Cut it out,
as a
guys.
receiver right now.
Oh, damn. Okay. That was fun, man. That was quite the.
It was fun.
I'm sorry, but he gets too upset about some of this shit, bro. He's gonna join back and say, "I don't care," but it's not that deep sometimes. But no, I also disagree with this.
What does
I
Cook
disagree.
do better than Renfro? Everything.
Yeah, everything.
Josh Allen is not a better
Everything.
rusher than Kyler. Like, I'm sorry.
Wait, what'd you say?
Okay.
No, I'm just saying, like,
Responding to this
Oh.
comment.
no. The main argument that
Oh,
Josh
it's
Allen,
Roman.
like,
Hey, Roman.
because of the stats, like, I guess Jalen Hurts is a better rusher than Kyler because he has more rushing yards. Like,
Oh, yeah, Kyler's the better runner. People are forgetting how elite.
I
Kyler
do
is
think
as a
people
runner.
are underrating Josh Allen's running ability, though. Like,
No,
I think
but,
what was
like,
it,
the thing
Donnie?
is,
Was it
talking
Donnie
about it a
saying
lot.
that Josh Allen was not an elite running
Yes,
quarterback? I think he
absolutely.
is. I think he is an elite running quarterback.
No, he is. But I just wanted to answer this. Absolutely, he always has been.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs top 10. He is.
I would
This
take
is also
Jacobs over Eckler. I'm sorry.
Yes, I would too. Easily.
Really?
Yes.
You got to
This
think
is
Josh
bad.
Jacobs. You got to think Josh Jacobs was in a role where he wasn't utilized this year. Like they predominantly passed the ball, whereas Eckler he was getting the ball in the passing game and in the running game.
Well, and what people forget about Josh Jacobs, you see, he's playing with a bad offensive line. Both of the last 2 years, he's played with a terrible offensive line. So people want to bring up his yards per carry stat. The yards per carry stats because of that bad line.
Derek
It's the
Carr
same
or
thing with
Matthew
Najee Harris.
Stafford?
I agree. Roundup.
I'm taking
Derek
Carr
Carr.
over Stafford.
You taking who?
Derek Carr.
I'm taking Derek Carr.
I might take.
I mean, like the
I'm
thing
taking
is,
the man
though,
who just won his first playoff game.
Look,
You
I'm
know,
a certified
yeah,
Stafford
but, like,
hater, so.
he threw like 17 passes. Like,
This is true.
oh,
Stop. RJ, chill
This
out.
is also true.
Elijah
This is also
Mitchell.
true.
He is top 15. Elijah Mitchell is a top 15 running back.
Yeah, he's all running backs are a bit of a Shanahan merchant though.
Okay, but like Elijah Mitchell is generally like a good running back.
No, but this is I don't disagree with this. I actually, if I had to take a running back for
Right.
1 year, I'm taking Javonte over CMC. I don't.
I got to
care.
see more out of Javonte.
I don't. I've seen everything I need to. He's one of the best running backs in the league already. He's that good. No, we already said top 15. He will. He probably won't be top 5 next season, depending if Gordon stays. But
If Gordon stays, he definitely won't be top 5.
yeah, people are smart. He's smart. Is DK top 10? No. I don't think so.
He's
No,
top
DK's
20
not
though.
top 10.
This comment. This is it. This is
Wow.
this, is,
Oh
Lord
my
God, that's
goodness.
perfect.
this is the comment.
Disrespect.
Nah.
W.
Dude, the only thing they have similar is that they're white. That's it.
Top receivers.
Yes.
Top,
Yes, he is.
Hey,
Yes, he is.
top receivers of the decade. My number one is freaking Antonio Brown. Can't change my mind.
I think
That's
it's
fine.
easily AB, and I'm not just saying that as a Steelers fan. Like,
No.
Is DK better? Oh, yeah, DK is not
Okay.
better than McLaurin. Terry Solos.
I mean, like, I'm not just saying that as a Steelers fan, just like from like a skill set, and like they had like almost the same production too. Like, okay, Ryan.
All right, well, hey, I got to get off, y'all. I'll see y'all later.
Okay.
Oh, well, I guess we might as well kind of wrap it up because it's almost been 2 hours.
Yeah, for sure.
What's Ryan doing?
All right, let's wrap this up.
But this was fun. Parting statements, closing takes, or anything?
Debo's better than your favorite player.
Ooh.
So yeah. Otherwise, no, I don't really have anything to say. This was kind of.
I think this is a good conversation. It gets heated, but guys debating like
Okay,
we all
like,
have our opinions.
So like the next time we gotta set a rule that like we can't get that mad in debates. Like
somebody can't get that mad in debates.
But the thing is, like, this is fun though. It's fun to do. Obviously, we appreciate you guys watching. Like, y'all could have done anything else, but y'all spent an hour and a half with us, so
Of course,
we appreciate that. And like I said, everyone is just like strong-headed in their opinions, which is fine, you know. And I think everyone has some kind of evidence to back up their claims, and that's the only thing that matters. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And hey, my parting statement: it's all about the U. Go Hurricanes!
Absolutely, I appreciate you guys stopping by.
Yeah, we'll do this again, boys.
For sure.
My hot take is that the Niners will beat the Packers.
That's not going to happen.
Dub. Why not?
I actually think they can. I think they can.
We'll see. But we really should wrap it up. It's going on 2 hours now. So thanks everybody for stopping by, guys.
Appreciate y'all.